Hello and welcome to the first bulletin of the day live on TV3 News Morning. I am Enyunam Paliga. Coming up this morning, dozens of Ghanaian nationals in South Africa start registration process to prepare for voluntary repatriation from xenophobic attacks. Also in this bulletin, repair works on the Kaneshie footbridge is yet to commence despite the assurance by AMA to reopen the facility within 1 month. And much later in this bulletin, pedestrians are now busy crossing the dangerous highways. Also coming up this morning, doubt still hangs on $1.5 billion Marine Drive project expected to transform Africa's waterfront as government yet to find a clear path for financial engineering. We have details of these headlines and other stories. Stay with us. So first story now. Over 60 years after Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, pushed for a united Africa, the African Union still presents itself as a continent's leading voice during a time of global instability. With geopolitics shifting fast and insecurity rising, the question is how much the AU can actually resolve these challenges while keeping Africa together. The Organization of African Unity was established in 1963 to foster unity and solidarity among the member states. In 2002, it rebranded as the African Union, retaining the same core goals that's promoting peace, integration, and economic cooperative and also collective security across Africa. Even before the AU existed, Ghana was already at the forefront of Pan-Africanism. Ghana remains active in AU affairs through diplomacy, peacekeeping, and regional mediation. Most recently, with the AU backing, Ghana led a successful push for AU resolution recognizing the transatlantic slave trade as one of humanity's gravest crimes. Moving on to some other stories now. After years of delays, abandoned timelines, and investor uncertainty, government says the long-stalled Marine Drive project is yet to gain momentum. Tourism Minister Abla Jifa insists the government is securing strategic development partners to fast-track construction and transform the once-stalled coastline into a major tourism hub and commercial hub.
The proposed Marine Drive project is intended to be situated on a 241-acre land, stretching from the Art Center enclave through the Black Star Square to the Osu Christianborg Castle area. A visit to the site reveals some changes. Large portions of the land have now been cleared and divided into development lots with demarcations of lanes. However, there is no active work ongoing. Squatters who hitherto occupied part of the beachfront for years have been evicted as authorities move to secure the land for what government describes as one of the most ambitious tourism and urban redevelopment projects in Ghana's history. The 1.5 billion Marine Drive project is expected to transform Accra's waterfront into a modern tourism and commercial hub, featuring hotels, restaurants, shopping centers, residential apartments, entertainment facilities, an aquarium, and an aqua park. The development will include both low-rise and high-rise buildings, with some structures expected to rise as high as 26 floors, potentially reshaping the skyline of central Accra. The project is also expected to create about 150,000 jobs and attract more than 1 million tourists annually when fully completed. Despite the grand vision, the project has suffered years of delays during the previous NPP's administration after it was launched with huge public expectation. The setbacks to the advancement of the project have been blamed on investor uncertainty, bureaucratic delays, land compensation challenges, and difficulties in securing long-term financing for the massive redevelopment. Although sword-cutting ceremony and policy announcements were made, fiscal progress on the ground remained minimal for years, with part of the project land turned into dump sites by squatters of Art Center who also consume electricity from the national grid for free. Critics have questioned the current administration's financial and administrative capacity to execute the Marine Drive project. But the minister, Abla Jifa says government is actively seeking investors and development partners to fast-track construction and unlock the project's economic potential.
I saw the packaging by the anchor developer and Amdel on how they are going to have a roadshow to get investors to come and invest in the place. Everything else, I think we have crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. We just need people to bring, express interest in it, and of course, bring the financing to come and engage with the ministry so that we can take off from there.
She's also confident that work will progress steadily before the end of the administration.
I'm careful not to blame when I don't understand what happened. But I'm guided by the delay that has, taken place all these years, and see how I address that by moving fast to ensure that we see some development going on and to have a beautiful seafront. We are losing out by not developing the Marine Drive, and so it's my passion to ensure that at least under my tenure as Minister for the sector, that we see some movement and some work being done in the area.
As a result, a 5-member board of directors have been inaugurated to move the project beyond its current state. For many Ghanaians, the renewed commitment by government to seek the continuation of the Marine Drive project to beautify Accra's coastline signals a turning point for a project that for years existed more on paper than in reality. It is the expectation that the Accra Marine Drive project may deliver the transformation successive governments promised. Stanley Niblo, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, after assurance by city authorities to repair and reopen the Kaneshie pedestrians footbridge within a month of their closure, no repair works have commenced. Stanley Niblo reports that pedestrians are now crossing the busy highway at dangerous sections, putting their lives at risk, and the bridges continue to deteriorate.
On Thursday, April 2, 2026, the Accra Mayor, Michael Kpakpo Alote, closed the Kaneshie pedestrian footbridges to pave way for maintenance works. The bridges serve as an important link for pedestrians crossing from one side of the highway to the other. Over the years, however, the structures have come under immense pressure due to the human traffic on the bridge. Beyond their intended purpose, traders and beggars have also turned portions of the walkway into business spaces, a practice that has persisted for years. Several metal components of the bridges now appear heavily rusted, while part of the structure shows signs of severe wear and tear. A closer look beneath the walkways reveals visible corrosion and concrete slabs gradually dislodging from their original positions. Pedestrians say they often experience frightening vibrations whenever large crowds use the bridges, prompting the Accra Mayor to order their immediate closure for repairs. Funding for the project was expected to come from the Assembly's internally generated funds, with repair works projected to last a month.
We are going to just close one side so that I will not give the bridge too much pressure. We are just going to close one side of the bridge so that the people can use it for the meantime. So it's not going to have so much pressure on the bridge. So as for closing one side, we are going to do that.
However, the deadline for the completion of the project has long elapsed, with engineers yet to move to site. During the news team's visit to Kaneshie Sunday afternoon, a disturbing situation prevails. The bridge continues to deteriorate, even though close to the public. Trading on the stairs lingers as traders hint they could no longer countenance the delay by the Assembly to repair the bridge. Kobe's mother is among traders plying their business on the footbridge. He spoke to TV3 about the engineer's delay in moving to site. Other traders were worried.
The bridge efite war never need a fracture the back show way. What time was small. Yako honey bomata no ni no could happen. Then about a hole the mere bomada safety. She need a balakia. I can't banaba fair bridge and no more like a adaka abanaba wedding. Allo abanaba session affair.
Pedestrians become vulnerable as motorists in many instances disregard their presence, especially after 6 p.m. when traffic regulators close and leave the scene. For minutes, I stood and watched motorists neglecting zebra crossing and putting pedestrians' lives in jeopardy in an attempt to access the opposite side of the highway. Samuel Alote, a transport executive, is not happy.
Zebra crossing no man no you want lenche won eco machine me ka me na egwa mbayi ne egbeye aka me no like gbemu kodan.
Pedestrians are now calling on city authorities to urgently begin rehabilitation works on the deteriorating footbridges, warning that continued delays could lead to a major tragedy as they risk their lives daily crossing the highway. Stanley Niblo, TV3 News, Accra.
To some other stories now, as the Roads and Highways Minister, Governor Kwame Agbuja, has intimated that the ministry will continue to monitor ongoing road projects as a measure to ensure quality and speed of work by contractors. He emphasized that all road projects in the country which were started under the previous administration will not be terminated. He was speaking to journalists in the Northeast region where he inspected some ongoing road projects.
The minister first inspected work on the construction of a bridge over the White Volta River along Mishuo-Woyama, which has been on contract since 2015. While applauding the contractor for his work, he appealed to him to ensure the project is completed before the end of 2027 to open the place up for economic activities to thrive. The minister also inspected ongoing work on the Bintri Nangpanduri and Saboba Chereponi roads. Northeast Regional Minister Ibrahim Tia expressed satisfaction on the progress of work on the road projects in the region. On clamping down of armed robbery and other attacks on the roads, Ibrahim Tia revealed that 5 police vehicles and other logistics will be made available to the police to intensify patrols on the roads.
Dozens of Ghanaian nationals earlier yesterday started gathering outside the Ghana High Commission in Pretoria after arriving in taxis ahead of tomorrow's security screening process. The screening exercise is part of the planned repatriation of Ghanaian nationals from South Africa following the ongoing xenophobic attacks on foreign nationals. South Africa's SABC News quoted, the first group is expected to depart on Wednesday with about 800 nationals having so far indicated willingness to return to Ghana. However, only 300 have been processed. Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa, Benjamin Ananekwashi, says many Ghanaians no longer feel welcome. The pictures of the story are by Ketsi Luanda Dancer. Moving on to some other stories now, as Ghana's Armed Forces has concluded the exercise Storm Shield, a 2-week training exercise in the southern east part of the Upper East region aimed at preparing troops to counter insurgency threats. The exercise provided an opportunity for learning and improving the armed forces' preparedness against both internal and external aggression. Our Upper East regional correspondent, Castro Singana, reports.
This military team is not undertaking its usual patrols within the Boko General area. Instead, it is heading to one of the mountains in Kulungugu, where a tactical military counter-insurgency drill is taking place. The drill forms part of the Ghana Armed Forces exercise Storm Shield, conducted in the eastern part of the Upper East region. It aims to improve the combat readiness and rapid response capabilities of the Army, Navy, and Air Force in responding to internal and external security threats. The tactical drills and simulation exercises did not only take place in Kulungugu. At other locations, troops rehearsed explosives detection, search and rescue operations, ambush response, and targeted cordon and search operations. Colonel John Quatten, the Northern Command Operations Officer, said the training will enhance the Ghana Armed Forces response to threats.
So if you are able to bring the combat to them at times that they least expect, you are able to defeat them before they get to the community to disturb the civilians. And that is what we have done this morning.
With insurgent activities occurring across the border in neighboring Burkina Faso and Togo, the armed forces says it will continue ongoing efforts and training exercises to maintain a high level of readiness, especially among troops deployed in the north.
The objectives of the exercise, I can say that it's been fairly met. Exercise Shieldstorm is just one of the series of exercises that has been lined up by the Ghana Armed Forces to test operational readiness, not only at the individual level, but subunit, service, and subunit levels.
While the Ghana Armed Forces continues efforts to secure the northern borders, it is also keeping a close watch on the unstable situation in the Boko General area. The General Officer Commanding of the Northern Command, Brigadier General Walanyo Agbebo, said the military will not tolerate actions that could disrupt peace-building efforts in Boko.
We haven't come here to play. The resources that are involved is not small. The government attaches so much importance to Boko and its environment. That's why they have sent all these resources for us to come and train here. Peaceful Boko people will have peace. Those who don't want us to have peace, they will not know peace. We will not allow anybody to threaten the peace. We will match everybody boot for boot, and we will deal with any recalcitrant ruthlessly.
The Chief of Army Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, Major General Lawrence Koku Betano, visited the exercise area to assess the progress of the training and interact with troops on the ground. He urged stronger interagency collaboration to protect Ghana's borders and said the performance of troops during the exercise reaffirmed the armed forces' ability to defend the country's sovereignty.
Your performance has reaffirmed that the Ghana Army, and by extension, the Ghana Armed Forces, remains a capable, dependable, and mission-ready force prepared to always defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our nation in collaboration with other sister security agencies. This exercise was merely
Castro Signala, TV3 News, Boko General Area.
Now, away from security and to some educational-related stories, education in Lion community is facing a critical decline as child labor in fishing, severe poverty and infrastructure are pushing classroom attendance to its lowest level over time. My colleague Belinda Tete visited some island communities in the Pro East District and has filed this report.
A visit to Parambo No. 1 in Siano DA Primary School paints a stark reality.
This is a fishing community, and to only rely on this facility for education is quite alarming. This room is being shared by Primary 1, Primary 2, Primary 3, and there's one other facility just right behind here, which is also a 3-room school building, which is also shared by Primary 4 and Primary 5 and Primary 6. And so right after Primary 6, the students here will have to go to the next community or the neighboring communities to access junior high school.
As the only government-owned school facility in the area, it hasn't received any form of renovation or facelift in 40 years. This, authorities say, is one of the reasons why children lack interest in education. The school's headmaster noted that all efforts to keep children engaged in formal education have proven futile, as children are drawn into local fishing industry instead. We have given conditions to the parents that before you take the child to the sea, make sure you bring the child back early to attend school. Even when they return late, they should urge the children to come to school. But all our efforts have proven futile. Sometimes we go about chasing the children to come to school, but then they see us and they run away. The assembly member for the area stated that a complete lack of diverse job opportunities for adults forces families to rely heavily on child labor.
Yes, sir, Abai. So,
We plead with government to invest in creating jobs in this area. If there were other job opportunities, parents would not be forced to only stick to fishing, whereby they will still have to force their kids to fish with them. At Deklai Community DA Primary School, a visit on a Monday, which coincided with the local market day, revealed that less than half of the student population was present. School authorities confirm that this absenteeism has become a norm.
On market days, which is Monday, we get less than half the population of the school. Because most of them don't come to school on Mondays, sometimes looking at the number that report, you would have to repeat a lesson that was taught. And yes, the next day when they come. And it eats into instructional hours, which sometimes, if not through the teacher's own interventions, we may not be able to finish the curriculum.
Speaking to some inland fisher folks who did not deny the claims but argued that the inconsistent supply of government-subsidized premixed fuel paralyzes their regular fishing expeditions, driving up operational costs. They added that this situation forces them to rely on children as free labor in order to break even. Government promised to assist us with premix fuels to make our job easier, but it doesn't come consistently, and so if I realize that the job is too much for me to handle, the only option I have is to engage the children to help me. And so we'll plead with government to give us consistent supply of premixed fuel, because the demand for fuel is higher than the supply, and that is why we are facing all these challenges. While local authorities insist that they are actively fighting child labor, they admit that their interventions have yielded no significant results.
The first attempt that we made to try as much as possible to curb that situation is to make sure that those communities around, maybe by the riverside, are given this school feeding program. Yes, because apart from even fishing, when those who don't have this school feeding program, when it is break and they go back home to eat, they don't come back again. Not only on even market days, and we have also engaged the parents on countless occasions, trying to educate them, to let them know the essence of, at least maybe especially when a child misses Monday as a school day.
Child labor there last year, your sentence will be 7 years with them.
Last year, some was sentenced to 7 years in prison, and so in our own ways, we are trying to put an end to it, but our efforts are not enough. The educational crisis in inland communities directly undermines Ghana's commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, creating a domino effect across multiple global targets. This includes SDG 4, quality education, SDG 1, no poverty, and SDG 8, decent work economic growth by 2030, all of which demand immediate measures to eradicate all forms of child labor. Without consistent efforts to enforce child protection laws, many children in Ghana's inland communities will continue to be pulled out of school to help their families in fishing activities. This ongoing use of children as cheap labor in fishing threatens their education and leaves their future uncertain. Belinda Tete, TV3 News, Yeji, Pro East District, Bono East Region.
Quite a worrying development there, but that's how we end News Morning here on TV3. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Newday. Continuous. family.
Yes, yes.
I saw a video of her first daughter yesterday. You know, it's heartbreaking to see how many people she's left behind. The fact that she had a whole life to live.
Yes.
And to know that she was battling cancer quietly
Yes.
for the last 2 years or so. And I saw a video that popped up where she was talking about the fact that it may be genetic because, of course, her father passed and then her sister as well. And she was hopeful that it would not take her life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
For me, it's the
this is what has
husband's message.
happened.
That's
Yeah.
the husband's message that he posted on social media that really got me
Yeah.
speechless and then teary quite. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
There's also something that Nadia Buhari posted, and I thought it was a very deep message as well. If you have time, if you're watching, you can go check out Nadia Buhari's post. I mean, of course, wishing her peaceful rest, but talking more about life and how we need to live intentionally, you know, etc. So may she continue to rest in perfect peace. It's sad.
And you see, the time that she was going through treatment all this while she was.
So that's probably when her hair was cut? Or
Yes, it was also part of the. So she chose the role, and at the same time, also was going through treatment. You know.
I salute her friends and the people close to her who knew about it. And I always say that if you have friends who can keep things on the low for you, you probably have some of the best people around you, because anybody could have decided to leak the information to a blogger or, you know, someone just to put it out. But they kept it on the low and were with her and supported her as she fought through this ordeal. And so, I mean, God bless them. May God grant them the peace and the strength to go through these difficult times, and especially her husband and her kids. And I saw her mom, of course, wailing. It's not something anybody would want to go through. So God bless her soul.
I'm surprised she even had children. I never knew that.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah, I never knew.
There's an old photo of her with her husband.
With her husband
and
the
2
children.
kids. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
didn't know her personally. I don't even
before.
think I've encountered her before, but I'd seen that photo, so I was aware she was a mother. Yes, yes, yes.
Beverly may also rest in peace.
So that's the message from her husband. He is indeed shattered.
Yes.
May God grant him strength. But good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And that's why when you wake up every morning, you don't take life for granted. Because it could be taken away from you in a second.
Just like that.
See what happened to the young man who also passed after that accident at the Burma Camp roundabout as well. I'm told, well, we don't have the full report from the police yet. So
that's the 2 Benz
we
cars.
Cannot, yes.
The G-Wagon.
Exactly. But apparently there was one that was over speeding, rammed into one of the other cars, and one of the boys died, we're told. You know, and it's not life.
Just over the weekend.
Yes.
Very fleeting.
Yes.
I have a friend, and she always likes using the word fleeting. Life is fleeting. So you always have to be cool with everybody around you, because you never know. You're here today and then you're gone tomorrow, irrespective of age. Yeah, and we had the Nigerian actor also pass on. Yeah. And we're told that he was also battling silently with the cancer as well. And there are many people who are battling with many other things. All of us have our own demons that we tend to battle with. So may God comfort all of us, especially the family as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. But,
and most importantly, when you wake up every morning, remember to say thank you to God.
Amen.
Don't take it for granted.
Amen.
Because he could just snap his finger or even blink. I don't even know what his modus operandi is, but I mean, regardless, any little thing can just take life out of you.
That
so
is
always
true.
be grateful.
That is true.
For life and for the people around you.
Very sad. Very sad. Very sad.
But yeah, let's lift our spirits up a bit. Yeah, we're thanking God and we're grateful that a new week has started. Today's the 25th of May, so it's AU Day.
Previously.
Yeah.
The previous.
It's AU Day, but I don't even know how we're going to celebrate this.
Yeah, it used to be a holiday. Back
it used to be.
It used to be.
But not anymore.
Nanado came to scuttle it.
Should we even be celebrating?
I think so.
The holiday, like, should we be marking it with a holiday?
Yeah, and ideally we should, because if we say we're pace setters, and we know that when it comes to south of the Sahara, sub-Saharan Africa, we are the leading, haven't gotten independence, just 1957, so to speak. We had other countries on the continent that had it before us. Then, of course, if we set the pace, it becomes the yardstick for many other African countries. Now, there are many sub-regions of the continent that are going through a lot of difficulties. Just over the weekend, we had the Senegalese president sacking his prime minister. We're told that apparently he was his mentor as well. So there are many democracies and economies across the continent which are having or are in turmoil, for example. Even us, as well as other African countries, particularly Nigeria and some of those countries that have their citizens in South Africa, we're battling with the subject matter of xenophobia. And we'll be talking about it or discussing it for big issues. But you go deeply into it, we have politicians who are also exploiting the very subject about their inability to be able to develop their economies, create better opportunities for their own people, and using that as political campaign messages to the detriment of others who also come there for many other reasons, particularly for economic emancipation or green pastures, as we call it. So I thought that, well, if we could have, we should be maintaining that. It brings some level of renaissance and awareness about what we should be doing.
It does, absolutely. And for me, it's also about how borderless, you know, our nations are within the African continent. Good news, at least in Ghana, we have declared officially that any African traveling within the continent into Ghana does not need a visa. It's visa-free now. But we don't even have that across all the countries. They're still probably working on their policies, hoping to announce that later. But beyond that, how much does it cost to even travel within the continent? It's more expensive traveling inside Africa than traveling outside to maybe Dubai. Sometimes you compare the prices, and that's why a lot of people, you know, say that it's easier for them to go on holidays in some of these other countries because you compare the ticket prices alone, plus hotel, shopping, etc., and you'd spend less traveling to Dubai, for example, than traveling to Africa. Even within Africa, if you have to travel to, let's say, I don't know, Angola or something, you don't have a direct flight. You now have to travel up, go down,
either you go
left,
to Kenya,
right,
or go to South Africa, or go to Ethiopia.
Exactly.
Or you go to Rwanda, so to speak. That's Kigali.
So we say we're united, but is it just on paper?
I think it's on paper.
Because in reality, it's not that easy even interacting with our own African people. Do we see ourselves as one people? There are parts of Africa that don't even see themselves as Africans. They would rather want to belong to another continent. And so they look down on their own fellow Africans, even within the continent. So it's a broader conversation that needs to be had if we're really going to mark Africa Union Day, especially with what's happening with the xenophobic attacks as well, etc. There's a lot that we need to do if we want to achieve unity across the board. And so, well, happy Africa Union Day, but I don't even know if we should call it happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're enjoying peace in some parts. So maybe happy Ghana Day, but Ghana Union Day or something. Yeah.
But thank you for joining us all the same. Sorry that we have to take you through all this. It's not really a gloomy day, but it's just that not a day for all of us to be in the studio and say that we have a smile on our faces. But as it is, we know that when we hear some of these tragic news, we also have to live, because life has to move on as well. Once we mourn with the dead and the families, and so we'll be having some great time. Let me say good morning to Pai Fianco. You work with engineers and planners, as well as Alhaji Nuruddin, great lady as well. And then everybody else around us who tend to watch us, we're grateful that you joined us this morning.
Good morning to the Roots Minister.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Special good morning to him. I'm also reminding him that he still hasn't visited the Spintex area.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I've seen that you've been skinned chief.
Yeah,
somewhere in the northern
yesterday
region.
I think he was in Nalerugu or some of those areas trying to monitor. And I kind of love what he's doing, particularly him. Is it a Roots Minister, Finance Minister, and then we have the Foreign Affairs Minister. So they seem to be like hands-on, you know, so you find that, So
they're working.
They're
doing great work.
The aesthetics work as well. So, it's very important. So we'll be discussing the subject matter of the xenophobia attacks, and then what needs to be done for the citizens who want to be repatriated. We got some insights in which some of our citizens or compatriots said they wanted to return. Of course, they say they'll find some other means also to travel to elsewhere to find greener pastures. So we'll talk about that.
So the whole idea is to come back to Ghana to go to another...
Yeah, because the destination, the abode is not, it's not a very conducive environment. So you have to, there are people naturally who want to travel. Yeah. And if you're not disposed, predisposed to living or a livelihood that you think is good for you need to make that decision. And it's a choice everybody has. So we'll do that as well.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about, you know, the subject matter of the restoration, if it has to be done, based on the orders of the court or the judgment of the courts for GN Savings and Loans. That's the group in Bank.
Yeah.
And subsequently, what are the implications? Does it mean that other aggrieved owners or shareholders of other banks that went under could also seek some remedies before the courts? And then we'll go to the merit of the reasons why we had the difficulties with the banking crisis and what needs to be done to protect local banks. I think it's very important that we do that discussion. So we'll do that discussion very soon on big issues this morning.
Yes, indeed. Okay. And for this morning as well, we're having a very important conversation. It's interesting as well what the Interior Minister is saying with regards to how some young people, unfortunately, did not make it into the security agencies across the country.
Yeah.
And that's because
that some of them had weed
they noticed, So it says that over 6,000 applicants were disqualified from the security services recruitment over drug use and mental health conditions.
Yeah, okay.
And this was said by Honorable Mohammed Muttaka Mubarak, the Interior Minister, which is very concerning.
Yes, it is.
Over 6,000.
Yes, it is. I think the reality is that the Mental Health Authority, as well as others who practice within the sector, will tell you that we have a lot of individuals who are young people, fall in the productive age group, who overindulge when it comes to their encounter with banned substances or narcotics. And as a result of that, it impairs their ability to be productive, and then the ability to be functional in the society and the environment. Now, the bigger question we have to perhaps discuss around this is the fact that if we know individuals who are of a productive age group, knowing that they are applying into the security forces, and you know that that application is important for you, then it means that you need to hold yourself back by way of discipline, not to indulge, so that you go through the medicals a free person, so to speak, or you are able to pass. And so once we have these in their bodies, it also means that there's a complete lack of discipline for those individuals who have not passed the medical, 6,000 of them, to be able to abstain or refrain or recuse themselves from taking part or indulging in those vices that resulted in them being detected in the first place.
Exactly.
Because for alcohol, you need about, a week up to about 4 weeks.
For it
to get out of your stream. Because, and that's just alcohol. But these days, they are lacing the concoctions or the mixtures they are drinking with many other things, which they don't know about. So
who don't know about these young people?
The young people don't know that the owners... Sure they don't know? Well, I'm thinking. So it means that they are lacing if it's supposed to be maybe a punch or something like that, there's something else beyond this, because these days, with the West African coast has become a hub for manufacturing of fentanyl, ecstasy, and some of those things that are transported elsewhere into the Americas and all that. So people are mixing other drugs just beyond normal alcohol and some of those things. And the young people also feel high, they take it. And they are taking it because they like the feeling, they are addicted to it as well. But for you not to be able to restrain yourself from taking it, and then you go into a trial after an application, you qualify and you are supposed to go through medicals. And you go through that screening and you're caught. Then it speaks about the bulk of the applicants not having the discipline to say, I want to stop this for some time or for all the time I'll be willing to join a security service. You know, it's a big problem, and I think that we should be worried about.
It is, absolutely. But I know that in some cases as well, it may not be your fault that you may have some drugs in your system, especially because you go to parties, they serve you cake. And I'm told that some of these cakes
the
are
wheat
laced
cakes and
with weed.
the toffees.
So you don't even know about. What if I went for a party the week before or something, and I was given cake, and I ate it when I know I have, you know, the recruitment process to go through. I'm not saying that we should, you know, absolve the youth from all the blame, but in some cases, and then there's also the issue of mental health, that you may not have control over it as well. And so we'll speak to a psychologist, and we'll also speak to a security expert to throw some more light on this, because what the minister said, about 105,000 of these applicants made it to the medical screening process. Even though for even that one, there was only space for 5,000. Ideally, the target for the medical screening process should have been just 5,000 people. We had about 105,000 people going through.
And 6,000.
Now, beyond that as well, yes, 6,000 of them were found to have some mental health problems.
But I like the police heads and the other security services heads, what they're doing. It shows that there's some level of discipline and protocols that they want to. And the Director of Operations for the Ghana Police Service, COP Emmanuel Kujo, good morning to you, doing some great work. And we wish you all the best for the day as well, because it also means that they want to ensure that the standards are maintained. Chairman Godwin Tamaklo as well, Chairman Prosper, they wish you all the best for the day as well. All right. And what are we doing for this morning segment? Because we have cash out.
So that's the conversation we'll be having.
Okay. I love that.
The issue about young people and who could not qualify.
I love that.
The medical.
Some of them will be taking shocker. If you're serious,
which one is the shocker? What's inside? Okay, it's too early.
All right.
Yeah, but I know there are some places. Well, wait, shocker is somewhere. It's a popular paparo.
Yeah, okay, let me. COP Manuel Kujo, Director General in charge of police operations, and together with the IGP, the heads of the police. Charlie, thank you for this. You catch them quick, the medicals. So, and we also know that there was a major breakthrough on arrests of some criminals in a table, as well as maintaining those areas. And then we also had a number of arrests also across the country, and particularly those individuals who broke into the high sense shop in Ashaiman. I don't know, what was wrong with you people? So we'll be doing this, and then also we'll look at the latest sports headlines. Arsenal finally have the trophy in their hands. Engineer Sanwachum will be so happy. And so we'll be talking about all that after big issues. That will be in sports as well. And we played a friendly, Ghana-Mexico. You know, Mexico are one of the hosts for the World Cup. And I know many of you will be willing to bet your last on how well we'll perform. So we have cash out. It goes with short code *439#. Choose option 2. Increase the number of tickets you have. Become one of those lucky winners as always. And please, when we do the draw, so as you increase your tickets, you will be happy because you will win. Well, let's do this morning segment. And we're talking about the recruitment, 6,000 plus individuals, young people who applied because of traces of narcotics or substances that have been abused and then also outlawed, found in their stream, becoming a concern. That's what we're discussing this morning.
You're welcome back, and this is TV3 Newday. It's time now for This Morning, and we're having a very critical conversation this morning. We've been hearing from the Interior Minister, Honorable Mutaka Mubarak. Over the weekend, he granted an interview on a sister station, and that is where he revealed that the full medical record of well, not record, but the results of the applicants for the security service agencies will be released sometime later this week. But beyond the release, he did indicate that some parts of the results were striking. And of course, out of over 105,000 applicants who went through the medical screening process, we're told some 6,000 applicants were disqualified because they failed the drug and mental health screening tests. And I'll just read a bit of what he said. He said we had over 100,000 people who went through the medicals. Because of the large numbers and because of what we have observed within the services, we introduced additional checks, including mental health assessments and drug tests. The results were striking. More than 4,000 applicants failed the drug test, and approximately 2,000 of them also failed due to mental health conditions. And says that the minister said the findings underscore the critical importance of thorough screening to ensure that only physically and mentally fit candidates are enlisted into the security services, particularly amid growing concerns about personal well-being within the sector. Joining us this morning is a fraud prevention expert and security consultant, Mr. Richard Kumado. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Bella. You're welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's good to hear from you. And thank you for that Facebook post. That was very kind of you. I saw it.
You're welcome.
All right. Now, let's talk about the report, or, of course, this statement that's been made by the Interior Minister. Are you surprised by the fact that we have about 6,000 of these candidates who failed the drug and mental health tests?
No, I wasn't surprised at all. If you recall, during the military recruitment, we had similar outcomes. And the military promised that they will help the applicants to deal with the SSCs they found in their blood or as a result of their medical examination. We don't know whether they are the same persons who applied for the military, who had a drug issue and the mental health issue. That also applies for the 4 agencies we are talking about. That is the police, immigration, fire service, and prison. If they are the same, then the issue continues from the military recruitment. If they are different people, then it has brought to the fore the issue of substance abuse and how we have not taken good care of our sons and daughters in this country, that their well-being is being compromised in terms of mental health. It is time we take it seriously. But then again, the second point is that because the minister came out earlier to say that the numbers were so huge, that they are going to use all means possible to eliminate people. And you also heard the president coming out to say that instead of recruiting 5,000 people, they should increase the number to 10,000. Many of the grassroots or the applicants will be saying that they will want to see their medical results because this could be one of the ploys to eliminate them from joining the security services at all costs.
But what would the security service have? I mean, why would they want to sort of tweak the results just to suit their agenda? Especially because we're hearing the minister saying that because the numbers were so high, they had to expand the scope of screening beyond routine physical and laboratory checks. So that means that they didn't go with the normal routine. Something had to change along the way.
You see, when it comes to recruitment, by the procedure we have chosen for ourselves, there are 4 stages. You apply, you go for document examination, you take an aptitude test, and we have all agreed that best practice is that once you take the aptitude test online or using the digital platform or computer-aided platforms, the results needed to be shown to you immediately. We missed that great opportunity and you raised all manner of suspicions and all manner of things were being said. Then the last stage is what we call vetting. 3 things happen at the vetting stage. Interviewing session, background checks of the applicants, and the medicals. The medicals is just one element of the vetting procedure. And I am saying that is what I cautioned the last time, that the minister should not be the one speaking about how recruitment should be done and the operational side of recruiting people into our agency. Because What the minister said, the numbers were so huge that they have to use all means possible to eliminate people. What we are talking about in terms of medical, the boys and girls who apply, they are aware that it's not all of them who will go through the medical. And they are also aware that mental health has become a major issue in this country, which we need to deal with as a nation. But then again, the underlying tone is that if you don't tell the people their results in terms of physical results to see what came out of their medical examination, then you are also creating room for people to throw in the theorists and the conspirators to throw in whatever they have within the vacuum, that this is just another ploy to eliminate people to join the law enforcement the law enforcement agencies at all costs. And that is where the danger is. Other than that, from what we saw from the military, it is true that not many people will pass the medicals because of personal conduct and because of how they have taken care of themselves over the years.
Now, the concern then would be, yes, the minister has spoken. Some 6,000 people have failed because of, they failed the drug test and the mental health test as well. Do we just leave them to go beyond putting the results out? Is there an intervention for some of these young people and probably other young people who may not necessarily have to undergo tests before we know that they suffer mental health challenges, etc.? As a nation, what should we be doing?
Definitely, I agree with you. We must let them go, and that is why their guardians and their parents and their elder brothers and sisters will have to have the results and show it to them as a proof of the test. And family steps, personal steps, and collective steps has to be taken to address what the deficiencies were. But from the military point of view, they indicated that they will work with the laboratories that did the test to be able to cure what the malfunctioning issues are within the tax regime. I would want to be happy if the Ministry of Interior will take the same procedure, or as a nation, we will make the provisions available for our young people to have some of these tests being done regularly. It's also the case about public education and awareness creation, that individuals, whether you are applying to join the recruitment, join the security agencies or any recruitment procedure, you might want to check your mental health and take your mental health seriously. Other than that, in times such as this, where background checks and due diligence become a priority, you might find yourself wanting, and that may create some level of discomfort for you in terms of opportunity.
Yeah. So the other question then will be, the individuals knowing that these are the vices that we indulge in, perhaps could they have been giving some counseling or some forewarned actions or guidelines by the various heads of the security agencies who were recruiting them, so that at least they become more aware, so to speak, before they went through the medicals?
No, it wasn't the four agencies. You see, we have several security institutions in this country who does recruitment without the noise we are talking about and without putting the country on the edge. Their security agencies, when they are doing recruitment, they don't even send the form to the applicant. We are talking basically about just four agencies out of the many: the police, the immigration, the fire, and the prison. Unfortunately for us, after many years of leading and advocacy that we need to change the strategy and approach, it's not the agencies that are recruiting these guys. It is the Ministry of Interior that is recruiting the people for the agency. So as of today, the agencies do not have a full grip of who is coming and who is not coming, or who has passed what stage and who hasn't passed what stage. And I am of the view that you cannot recruit people to perform a light exercise without background checks or without interviewing them. It is proper what you said, that if the agencies are aware of these particular individuals, after when you take the police hospital is there, it can provide some level of counseling, provide some premises for counseling for some of these boys, just like the military did. And I agree that within the services itself, because of the pressure of work and because of the numerous activities law enforcement officers undertake within the year, it has been prescribed that it is appropriate officers take their mental health seriously and undergo some kind of a routine check once in a while. So these are two different things. But I can tell you that it's not the agencies that are recruiting. It is the Ministry of the Interior that has taken a centralized position in this recruitment. And I think that That is an operational issue, and the Ministry of the Interior shouldn't come in at all. But this is where we are as a nation, and we keep on getting it wrong. And I think this strategy will have to change anytime soon. Other than that, recruiting people without background checks, recruiting people without interviewing them by the practitioners or the practice officers of the security agencies, I think we might be doing something wrong, and that wouldn't order well for our country.
And if you say background check, what do you mean? Like what the BNI does, so to speak?
Exactly. And when you take Ghana by our national security infrastructure, the two agencies that does background checks for the state or on behalf of the state is the BNI and the police. And so when I was joining the BNI, the numbers that apply were huge. We wrote the aptitude test. After many years of background checks, they pick a number of people. The BNI is doing recruitment or has done recruitment, and nobody heard about it. Even NACOP, that comes directly under the Minister of the Interior, they are giving autonomy to do recruitment, and they wouldn't sell the form to the general public, and it wouldn't create the kind of tension that is being created and put the whole country on the edge. And you are not giving the data of the BNI to third parties. You are not giving the data of NACOP to third parties. You are not giving the data of military intelligence or defense intelligence to third parties. Then why, as a recruitment procedure or mechanism, you are giving the data of the CID to a third party into the public space? I think we need to consider this as a national strategy when it comes to recruitment. Other than that, from where I see, and for the things we have seen with the police, where we bastardize the police with political police, protocol police, and professional police that are the minority in the police service, we are doing it wrongly, and it might not serve the national interest of this country.
Mr. Commando, if I may ask, sorry, Roland, but how developed are our systems in doing a thorough background check on individuals within the country? And I'm asking this because, again, you look at the developed countries, and just one click on the internet gives you detailed information about someone, even beyond going to do it physically. Do we have that kind of system here, and is it that developed to get all the information you need about someone?
The reason why it looks as if Christian Keteyahono is getting results and getting unravel some of the criminal cases that look complex is as a result of these background checks. The police, they set the foundations and alliances, and they work with the BNI and the Cyber Security Authority. This formation they have set up, it gives them the opportunity to be able to track and to be able to do the background checks on timely basis. And it helps frontline officers to get to the crime scene within 24 to 27 hours when a crime notice is served on them. Either to get to the crime scene, get to the victims, or get to the perpetrators. And they have the capacity to do background checks in this country. When you take the police, for instance, the cyber vetting department is superb. The cyber security department of the police is superb. So if you look at the combined efforts of the CID block and the IGP block, that collaboration is what is giving the police the edge when it comes to crime prevention and arresting criminals in this country. When you look at what they have done with the BNI and the Cyber Security Authority coming, the expertise of the officers within these three agencies have helped Ghana when it comes to our national security and when it comes to crime prevention and arresting criminals in the first place. So they have the capacity. The BNI are into background checks and due diligence. That is what they do. It's one of the core things they do. And they have the capacity to do it. The police can do it. The cyber security can do it. If we don't get it right, we might be getting it wrong. Because you know what? I started working as a recruitment officer. Know from background checks that you cannot afford to recruit somebody with a negative background check, a negative background. If it is one and the process is flawed, the outcome will be flawed. So when we are recruiting people, invariably, we are investing into them that they expect to reap a dividend after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. When we recruit people in the manner we are doing, where politicians are judged the process, and they said that the security professionals do not have capacity to recruit the people. After 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, when you are looking for that dividend, you will not get it because most people have become armchair people, and they have no business being in the recruitment process in the first place. So I am just sounding the caution and the warning again that yes, this is the approach we have taken, but we've come a long way that we need to do it properly. And when it comes to background checks, these are things they do at their fingertips. And I believe the BNI and the police have the capacity to do background checks, which third parties may not have that level of elaboration and capacity and expertise in this country.
Well, so clearly it means that we have a major security threat, at our hands, especially because beyond young people not getting jobs, which we're told is a security threat, now we're having to deal with a lot more young people also engaging in drug abuse. And that's also another major problem.
Definitely, yes. But you see, the other side of this coin is that when you see a lot of young people queuing to join the security agencies, that in itself is a very good thing. In some countries, they are passing laws to force people to join their security agencies because nobody wants to join. In our case, we have vacancies that needed to be filled. And many of the young people you see queuing or buying form to join, which we shouldn't sell the form in the first place, but we are selling it and making it more commercialized and more business, lucrative business enterprise, they are going to build profession. And it's not all of them that are running away from crime or they are running away from idleness or they are running away from poverty. They will build profession. And this profession, expertise, and skills built up over time will be necessary and required by the state itself. Because each year, people go on retirement, people get dismissed, people move on, and vacancies existed for people to be filled. But when you don't fill the vacancies properly, you will have problems. But like, can you imagine, the president said recruit 10,000 people each year. If the president is governing for 4 years, and you are going to take 40,000 people out of their homes into the security agencies, properly recruited. In itself is huge if you are looking at it as a politician from in terms of job creation. That is only the 4 agencies. The police, immigration, fire, and prison. You are not talking of the military. You are not talking of research department. You are not talking of BNI. You are not talking of Yoko. You are not talking of cyber security authority. You are not talking of the other security agencies. In itself, as a political party, it is huge. But the issue is, get it done right, because you have a problem as a nation where many of your young people are going wayward. They are abusing drugs and they have issues with mental health. It's going to create a problem for us one day if it's not kept.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richard Kumado, for speaking to us this morning. He's a fraud prevention expert and a security consultant. And we're activating our phone lines now so you can also speak to us. We also have a few messages coming through on Facebook. And one from Joyna. She says, Bella, what can we do being that this month is dedicated to mental health? How do we, the citizens, know and identify any mental health conditions? And how do we live with it in terms of fear of stigmatization and fear of being judged?
Quite interesting. We have Peter T, the first to call. Good morning to you, Alaji. How are you?
Good morning, Roland. I'm fine. How are you too?
Chalade. Go straight. Today we don't have time, so don't greet. Straight away, the message.
I know. Roland, there's something in my heart. I think that all that I heard your this thing, how do you call it? Your guests just talk about. I think that they are all relevant issues. But you see, we have to look at it and look at it very carefully. Because the way recruitments are being conducted in this country, not only under this regime, but I believe that the major issue came as a result of when Nana Addo Bawumia were doing their own thing. You see, this drug abuse, something that you were talking about. Fine, the reality is that we cannot do away with them because we have different kinds of these guys that come from different homes. So we cannot disabuse that. But what I'm saying is that should not be the yardstick. Because many that are recruited today, if you go into the history, it will tell you where they were coming from and how they were recruited. So are they the reality of the ground that some of them have been disqualified based on some of these menaces? These are the areas that we have, because if we want to be fair to ensure accountability in this direction, Roland, it will tell you that MPP was the worst performing government, especially in Nana Bawumia administration, if it comes to this recruitment. So this government must take a second look, because the president has mentioned a figure about 10,000. It must take a second look to ensure that the right thing is done at the right time. But let me also say that, Roland, I really congratulate you guys of your good work and take the opportunity to also say good morning to Aladi Alkondo and Aladi Madi.
Peter T, bye-bye. You snake dating. Bye-bye. We have this one from Notedria, who is a clinical psychologist, says that a great stuff from Richard Kumado today. The ministry and minister are contaminating and compromising the recruitment process and its objectives, and say good morning to myself and Bella. Dr. Akofa Segbefia, good morning to you, Dr. Segbefia, says, I agree that the test results should be given to the rejected recruits so that those in doubt can go and have a second opinion if they are so minded. That then will stop the conspiracy theories. And Sherry Giovanni is also sending a message, says, this could be true in that a lot of young people will be disqualified based on drug use. The rate at which our peers are using intoxicating concoctions is alarming. You meet a young person and the order of the day for them is to be using or being on hard drugs and unapproved drugs. You are seen as old-fashioned if you don't indulge or engage in any of those vices. We need more public education, especially for the youth, and says good morning to Dr. Sarkodie Ajamain of UCC. That's coming from Sherry Giovanni.
Well,
and
okay. You have some more?
No.
Well, so Humado Sichofe from the Guan constituency in the Oti region, he sent a long message. I'll just read just a bit of it. He says that to reduce drug abuse among the youth, parents, teachers, religious bodies, and the government must work together. Parents should properly guide and monitor their children, while schools should educate students on the dangers of drug abuse through counseling and public education programs. Okay. Pakwesi says, there are these guys in my area. You always see them early in the morning with a particular carbonated drink at their base. I learned that they mix some herbs with that drink. Education on drug use should be more in our communities. Okay. Well, thank you for that message. You have some more?
Yeah, I do have more messages. And this one is coming from Joseph Akasokri, Renew Go Fields next year. Indeed, we are going to fix our country using good fields. Okay, I'm trying to get... Mejina Kwesi has a message. Says, our youth are the future of Ghana. But today, that future is under serious threat because of the growing abuse of hard drugs among young people. Drug consumption is no longer hidden. It has become common in our communities, and the effects are alarming. Many young people are destroying their minds, losing their potential, and some even end up with mental health challenges. And then Akwesi Boateng also says that it is now the order of the day for young people to be abusing narcotics. Even you go to social parties like weddings, birthday, outdooring events, and then you will find that young people will gather at a corner. And this time, they are not hiding the smoke. They smoke their lungs away. And then they will continue drinking even more substances, and for which you don't know the ingredients that have been used to prepare them. We should be educating our young people. They don't have to be high all the time.
I mean, we laugh about it, but it's a very serious matter. And that's exactly what's happening now.
Yeah.
We're seeing too many young people engaged in drug abuse.
Yeah, they're high. They like to be tipsy high.
To what end? I always ask.
Problem.
To what end?
Every time they make high.
So you're high, and then what happens?
They're feeling.
Does it put more money in your pockets? Does it?
No, it does not.
Exactly. Right. So, okay. Well, we're so sorry to hear about the death of a journalist, a senior journalist in Tamale. This is from Al-Hassan Abdul Fattah. He says, good morning. It's a sad morning here in Northern Region and Ghana, as we've lost one of our senior-most journalists in Tamale by name Dr. Muhammad Shaibu, who was also head of University for Development Studies, Journalism and Media Department. We're so sorry about this, and may he continue to rest in perfect peace. Would have loved to hear from more of you, but unfortunately time will not allow. But keep the messages coming on Facebook at TV3 Ghana, also on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram as well at TV3 Ghana. But before we move on to our next segment, which is the big issues, we're reminding you to perk up your day with the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of Perk Milk Shortcake. It is pure delight. When we get back, it will be time for big issues, Papa Ro and his team. And so look forward to that. This is TV3 News.
Again, thank you for joining us. We told you that we'll be bringing to you the latest when it comes to our cash out this morning. So make sure that you're part of cash out with the short code *439#. Increase the number of tickets you have, become one of those lucky winners. And let's see how we're told that because we're having a holiday this midweek, so we are doing the cash out before the holiday. Because that day we can't do cash out. So please make sure that you put your last on it. Okay? *439#. Let me say good morning to a number of you who have joined our social media pages. Always a delight to have you. Make sure you share the stream. Let's have some great insight into our discussions this morning. And Samuel Carty, I see you already. Antoinette Ifua, who lives in the UK, know her personally. Money is there, and then Lee's concern the rest of the team. So please, let's have some great insight into our discussion. And we're talking about a very important subject. We had a banking crisis, and then some of the banks and their shareholders and directors, aggrieved, decided to seek some remedies before the courts, particularly the human rights courts. We know that the Unibank group as well also did that, and so they have UniCredit having some judgment in their favor. The latest is Group Indum, for which we have a judgment indicating that they need to have their savings and loans license restored to them. That hasn't been done yet, so that will lead to some enforcement for that to be undertaken following that judgment by the court. But importantly, what does it mean? Because the Bank of Ghana undertook that. If you look at the banking laws and then also what has to be undertaken, they did that with a process of law. Now we have other banks whose directors and shareholders also had difficulties at the time with the way they went or were declared into administration, and then a receiver appointed subsequently. So does it mean that we're going to have all of them or some of them also go to seek some remedies before the courts? If that is the case, have we opened a Pandora's box? And then we'll take a look at whether there was some justification or not for the banking sector cleanup. Make sure you join us. Our last topic will be on the subject of xenophobia in South Africa. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been on the forefront, making efforts through the Ghana High Commission in South Africa to bring a number of Ghanaians who are willing to come back to Ghana into the country. And so we also know that that's because there's a whole movement that has been heralded or led by a number of political groupings and then pressure groups in South Africa for migrants who they say are taking over their jobs and their economic interests to return to their countries. And so make sure you join us. If you live in South Africa and you want to share your experiences too, we'll be happy. Let me just introduce to you a number of the individuals we have who have joined us. And you all know Fifi Boafo. Fifi Boafo has his constituency as Takwa in Swayim. He was also PR and communications manager for Cocoa Board within the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia government, or that period when they were in office. And so he's here well represented. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
It could have been better, but it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I have to admit, though, he's one of the best communicators for the MPP. So that also has to be admitted. And then just in front of me, I have an academic. He has a position, is it vice for UTAG, UEW? Yeah. So he's a politician on campus, but for university advocacy. Is that, that's, okay. When will you become an MP? You haven't expressed the interest yet?
Not yet, not yet.
No, not yet. The way it's going, you will not do it? Or you never know?
You never know when time will speak, but for now.
Okay. So our online news, 3 News, we can write Dr. Bernard Tutubuahin expresses future interest.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay. One who is a member of parliament for Jirapa is here. That's the Honorable Cletus Seidu Dapila. He's here. Good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you too.
I heard your chairman mention your name during one of his tours. Or he didn't mention your name. You didn't?
Oh, he did.
He did, yeah.
He did.
Okay. Did he visit your constituency?
He visited my constituency.
National chairman.
Oh, yeah. Is it the... Well, he said he was happy the way the MP, the MC, the party leadership are gelling. I think he commended us for that and the kind of development.
If you want to take a dig at you.
No, I'm not. I was only going to...
I'm not listening to my brother.
I was only going to inquire if the national chairman, you mean on his thank you tour or the dress rehearsal one? I'm not too sure. Is it when he was on the thank you
You're a communicator, so I don't know what you're trying to say. He's on a thank you tour. That's the official communication we have.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any other...
The dress rehearsal
Any
one.
other information that we don't have?
Oh, of course, yes.
Have you picked up intelligence?
Oh, yes. My friend, the former minority leader and the Minister for Education, the very eloquent Haruna Idrisu. I watched a video of him when he was referring to what the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is doing, and said what the president was doing was the thank you tour. And the other one was rather a dress rehearsal. You know what?
There's a video to that effect.
Oh, there's a video to that.
I haven't watched.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'll share that with you.
Okay,
it's in circulation. But you see, the interesting bit is that I think we are all acting as ostriches. Oh, yeah. You know what? There was elections in Ghana in 2024. 2024. We've gone past 2025. We are in May. May is coming to an end. 2026. And the national chairman is still on thank you.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. How many months is he taking to? How many years? Would he be doing thank you to from now
as
to
an
20?
Experienced communicator like you, I think that you want to change the topic. So I debar you.
Do not, but then...
I bar you from doing that.
Just to end that, I think all is not well with the NDC. There are people who feel, of course, that the national chairman of the party is taking advantage of he being the national chairman, and it's unfair to other persons who also have their eyes on the presidential slot or the candidate of the NDC, because we've seen the secretary to the president issue a statement cautioning that all persons who seek to take over the position of President Mahama, they should pay their time.
And you are being mischievous. He published an article.
Oh, please.
It's on state.
It was an article, but then, hey, it was actually...
It's in the form of a statement.
But see, the article is even troubling.
Former journalists are bad.
It's even more troubling because for a secretary to the president, there are some positions when you occupy, you don't speak your mind. You speak the mind of your bosses. Because when you are in a certain office,
so you're saying that's
you only reflect your boss. And especially when the communications director for the president, the minister who speaks for the president, follows up and makes the same statement. And the question I've been asking myself is that if the president wants to say that, he should come out and tell his people, call them and say, hey, you
Sammy
stop,
Frank
you stop,
Backpan
you stop.
is on our street.
Why are you asking
He says that I should stop you from going towards the tangents.
He's uncomfortable with that, right?
Phoebe, there are a lot. You are in opposition. You have a long way to go. So I think you should focus on that more.
I agree, but
for us, we are in power.
Oh, Honorable, you see, let me land so you come in. But the point is that when you are in power, it is very, very important for all of us as Ghanaians to show concern when things that are supposed to rather help build our country.
The Honorable Dapila topic for me.
Did you do this?
Did
you do this when you were in power?
The ministers are too supposed to sit at finance ministry.
Don't come and sit here, bro.
Our finances are right. He's rather concentrating on becoming president.
He's behaving.
Haruna,
no, you're a good person. Don't behave like you're on MPP platform.
Oh, I'm not an MPP
but that's
platform.
what you are trying to do.
But it's
like an
MPP.
MPP.
Roger Bongo.
They are using
Roger Bongo, I see you, Sabokati.
No.
to work
Joshua
for us.
Don't say that. Don't, when you do
Joshua
this,
Alabi, okay.
Alabi too.
No,
Chairman.
It's like
Charles
Thompson.
MPP rally that you've been given. You have a floor to talk. We are not in a rally.
Fifi Boafo of the Takwa in Swayem constituency
he says talk
made
about
his preliminary comments. Okay. Now, substantively, the subject matter.
He asked you about the chairman's...
Thank you so much, my brother Roland and my colleague panelists on this platform. To your distinguished viewers and the good people of Jirapa and the bad ones, everybody combined.
There are.
Yeah, definitely. This morning, Roland, I'm one person who is an advocate for local businesses to strive. And when I look in Ghana, the banks that we have in this country, most of them are foreign owned. So if Ghanaian banks, or if a Ghanaian, operates a bank, I think that such people need to be supported to keep those banks so that at least we can get the benefits, or Ghanaians can reap the benefits, employment and all of that. So for me, Indum, Group Indum, not just Group Indum, Heritage Bank, Badge, all the banks that were actually, all the banks that their licenses were collapsed or were revoked. I think there were about 9 banks. And some of us at that time, and we still hold the view today, the same view that, look, these banks could be supported to be recapitalized so that they could continue to be in business, to support the Ghanaian economy. That was my position, and it is still my position today. And I want to commend Group Indum for the fight, because they for how many years, 2017 to date, they've been in court litigating to, get fair hearing. And finally, the Court of Appeal has given them a fair hearing. And I think that we should support not just Group Indum, the other banks. For instance, one of the banks, Heritage Bank, if you hear the reasons why it was collapsed, it's so appalling. Because the owners were in court in the issue of cocoa board stuff. So it was purported that maybe that is where they got the money from to establish the bank. You understand? You cannot do this to somebody, a Ghanaian business person. Roland, banks, local banks, for instance, if you take Group Indum was all over this country. Market women could easily access facility. You know how it is to get loans in this traditional commercial banks. It's difficult. But Indum made it so flexible. You understand? So as a market woman, you could take a facility, you could take just a facility, trade, and be paying daily or weekly. They give them that flexibility. You understand? So for instance, if you go to Jirapa, Upper West, for instance, those days, the bank was inside the market. Indum Bank was inside the market. And the market was like the bank was the market woman friend. All of them were always running there. They were all saving in the bank. So you can save. Once you are saving with them, they can give you a facility within your savings, or what sometimes we call overdraft, so that you can work and come and pay. Since the collapse of this bank, I can tell you that it wasn't just only the workers that were, unemployed or that lost their jobs. Many business women, many men who were benefiting from these banks by way of little, small loans to trade, all of them went bankrupt. All of them. They all could not even feed their families again because the bank was virtually sustaining them. So what I want to say is that irrespective of the challenges that bank had, I felt that as a responsible government at the time, they could support the bank to keep working so that at least they can keep the staff, they can keep supporting Ghanaians the way they were doing. So it's my hope that Bank of Ghana should not litigate this. They should. I know some people, I hear people are saying Bank of Ghana will go to court, they will blah, blah, and all of that. But to what extent?
Why should they not?
Huh?
If you look at the basis for the actions that were taken by the Bank of Ghana in getting those banks into administration and then appointing a receiver, the underlying factors were shareholders and directors' misuse of depositors' funds. And more importantly, some of them could not meet the capital adequacy ratio. And so once you cannot capitalize your bank, then it means that you also have to go down.
So you see, Roland, some of these banks
the debate has been on, Mr. Dapila, over the years as to the modus operandi or the policy decision by the Bank of Ghana to use the routes that they used. That, well, we could continue to give you maybe liquidity support as a central bank, which even prior to the decision that was taken by BOG at the time was already being undertaken prior to 2017. And so the argument that had been undertaken and then also made public over the years was that this was supposed to save depositors' funds. It was very, very central to the reasons why that was undertaken.
So now, let me now tell you some of the banks they are concerned at the time. Most of these banks, particularly Group Indum, Unibank, and all of that, they gave so much facilities to business people who did government projects. And government were not paying those business people for them to come and pay them. So their argument was that, look, we are helping to all build the economy. So you gave contracts to business people. We supported them with money or funds to execute those businesses. You are not able to pay them for them to pay us back. So if you were to add all the monies that business
interim payment certificates,
IPC certificates, if they were paid, we will be solvent. So they pleaded with government at the time that, look, pay these business people, we take our money, and we will be, solvent. You understand? That government could not do that for them. You understand? So they had a case. Government at the time should have also listened to them. BOG should have also listened to them. But you see, when somebody is determined to execute an agenda against you, no matter what you do, the person will go ahead to do it. They were determined. They were determined to collapse the banks. Even the money they use in collapsing the banks, when you hear the figures, is alarming. So people were like, why? So if you can use 21 billion to 30 billion to collapse 9 banks, couldn't you have used the same money to support these banks to sustain? You could have sustained these banks with this money, other than collapsing them. You understand? But the logic about this thing is that government owes, you owe business people owes the banks because government failed to pay the business people. So they total all the IPCs and said that, look, pay them and we'll take our money and our banks will be solvent. They didn't do that. And they went ahead to revoke their licenses. You understand? Roland, I am saying that these banks that will collapse, they may not have followed all the regulators' rules. You understand? But you see, in order to build our own people, government needed to support these banks to be sustained. We shouldn't have. Many people saw it to be reckless. Many people saw it to be insensitive, that government, honestly, will want all these people to be unemployed. You want to collapse these banks so that people who were benefiting, you know how people struggle to even get, some people even today did not even still get their savings. Till date, some people, they could not still get their savings because of the manner in which the takeover was done. You understand? Many people, because they, so all I want to say is that, Roland, let's support our own to grow. We need these local banks. They will support the economy of this country. The foreign banks that we have, the profits they make, they repatriate it. Our own banks, if we owe banks here, they will keep the money here and build Ghana's economy. So government of Ghana, support our own let's build local content. It's so important.
Fifi, of course, Anta, the former finance minister, had his own opinion on the subject as well, and how it could also affect the equity of the central bank following that decision. And so for many discussants as well as contributors since this ruling or this judgment came out, was that the Bank of Ghana needs to appeal. What's your own position on the subject?
Oh, thank you. Let me start by saying that I share the position expressed by Honorable, that not in his entire submission, but the position that there's the need for us to encourage local businesses, support local businesses. But I also disagree with any suggestion that a local business must operate at the expense of all of us. Because if we're a business, you are in business to make profits. You are in business to pay your taxes. And you are also in business to ensure that laid down regulations are followed. Why did the Bank of Ghana go to court and say that, well, your license is being revoked? Because the Bank of Ghana, as established by law, is a regulator. And if we're a regulator and persons or businesses that fail to go according to the rules established, do not follow the regulations, do you still continue encouraging them because, yes, they are local businesses? Do you continue urging them on because they are Ghanaian businesses? It is important for us to note in this conversation that the capitalization Honorable was referring to, they had already been capitalized by the previous administration, and they still did not meet the requirements of the Bank of Ghana. So because they are Ghanaian businesses, let's encourage them, continue pampering them, continue giving them the resources, because after all, they are local businesses. I think that that is not correct. I think that that is not right. Yes, the court has spoken. Let me indicate that the full ruling is not out yet. Yeah. So it is difficult for us to know the reasoning behind the decision that was taken by the court. But it was interesting that the court said that, well, the burden of proof, if the trial court had probably averted its mind to the burden of proof and the evidence adduced by the appellant, it would have arrived at a different conclusion.
So this from the appeal?
This from the appeal.
So you have a copy?
No, not the entire thing. That was the one page that came out. The judgment that came out.
Okay.
It said that, well, there was some evidence the High Court did not address its mind to. If it had addressed its mind to, that evidence that was adduced by the appellant, the result would have been different. Well, we are waiting to see the evidence the High Court. He said the High Court did not address its mind to come to that conclusion. But what was the state of GN Bank at the time the Bank of Ghana took that decision? There were depositors who were going to the bank asking for their money. And it wasn't people asking for huge sums of money. Small amount of money. And the bank was not in a position to give them the money. Do you still encourage them? Do you still urge them on? Do you still then say that, well, it's a local bank, so it doesn't matter? I think that even though we all agree that we must encourage local businesses, we must not encourage local businesses just because they are local businesses, no matter what they do. If that is the case, you know what? The women at the market, they are struggling. Why should government go and take taxes from them? They are local businesses. They are doing businesses. They must be encouraged. So why are you taking money from them? The taxi drivers, why are you asking them to pay too? They are struggling. It affects their businesses. They have to go and repair their cars. Why are you asking them to give you money? Pay taxes. They are local businesses. So I agree that local businesses must be encouraged. But the encouragement does not also constitute that no matter what they do, just go ahead and encourage them. That is not the way to go. I heard Honorable talk about the fact that, well, some people just wanted to, what was it? They were determined to collapse the bank. I think that's unfortunate, Honorable. What would be the motivation for someone to just say that I want to collapse the business?
Competition.
Competing with who?
You know.
You tell me. You are the one.
You know.
You are the one making the statement.
You know.
So you do not ask me to provide evidence for what you are saying. Who are they competing with? And for your information, these were not the only local banks. Do you know Fidelity is a local bank? Car Bank, is it not a local bank? Omni Bisek, is it not a local bank? So if it was a business of government to say that I want to collapse just local banks, why are they operating? If you are a business, you have a responsibility, and that responsibility, you must discharge it. You do not just say that because you're a local bank, so you must be allowed. You are making reference to what Honorable Amin Anta said.
The former finance minister.
The former finance minister. He's in a better position to understand these things. But the point is, the Bank of Ghana is not asking. We have been told that there's a need for us to do recapitalization. How is the Bank of Ghana going to recapitalize? The taxes you pay, the taxes I pay, and the taxes the viewer pays. That is what is going to recapitalize the bank. So if you are asking us that no matter what businesses do, we should just encourage them. The price you pay is that you'll be taxed to go and recapitalize it just because someone wants to be in business. Then they should give all of us the money to be in business. And no matter what we do, we should be encouraged because after all, it's a local business. And I think that is not fair.
That is not the argument.
But that's the argument you are making, that because this is what you said. You said, irrespective of the situation, government was supposed to capitalize them. Irrespective of the situation, no matter what you do.
No.
How? I have nothing against GN Bank. And in fact, I do not have the permission of this person, so I won't mention the person's name. I know someone very influential within the MPP administration. He was very, very key in pushing to ensure that GN Bank was saved. I know institutions he was pushing, just as you were making reference to IPCs that were supposed to be paid to GN Bank to make them solvent. This person, I know the effort the person went through in ensuring that GN Bank got his IPCs paid. But that does not in any way take away the fact that the bank had issues. So if you sit here and claim that somebody was interested in collapsing the bank, well, the MPP is not like the NDC, for your information. Oh. You come from a political party that in this country said people who were against the PNDC, NDC, their businesses were not supposed to survive. You remember Apino Soap? You remember those days? For you.
So that's why the banks were collapsed.
No, I'm not saying. I am only making the point to him that when you talk about
you
people,
want us to go to history?
When you in fact,
please,
it will not favor you.
Let's stick to the subject.
It will not favor you if you try to go there.
Why?
So it is not necessary for us.
You're saying that the banks.
I'm only making the point that nobody.
Because the BOG clearly following their own.
You asked me a question, so let me land so that I get it. Nobody is interested in collapsing the banks, and it is unfair for honorables to sit here and suggest that someone was determined to collapse the banks. If someone is determined to collapse the bank, it will definitely come from the stock of the NDC because that is what their traits.
I see. What do you make of this? The argument
you said
has been made.
He said their government recapitalized the banks before. How much?
I did not say. I said it was your government. Allow. Yes. And after recapitalization, what happened?
We're back to the subject matter. Capital adequacy ratio and NPLs, and then also the liquidity support and its misapplication by the shareholders and the directors were central to the argument that were also made. If you read the Boulders report at the time, it also gave you an insight into where the banking sector was heading towards. What has been the thrust of the argument was the decision that was made. Could we have rather gone the style of Nigeria, where some were amalgamated? Of course, we have the amalgamated ones as well currently as well. But even for those that were reputable and then were the fulcrum around which various subsectors of the Nigerian economy operated, they made a conscious decision. They made a conscious decision to punish the shareholders and directors of those banks for their inactions and flouting key regulations. And herein, you'll find that the Bank of Ghana also has key regulations as well. And then they also make reference to the banking or the financial crisis that led to the recession of the U.S. economy and ultimately also affected the rest of the world, 2007, 2008, and the Obama administration made a conscious decision that we can't have JP Morgan, a reputable institution that plays a role in the capital and the financial markets of the world. You can have the others as well. Just go down because that's the United States, really. So, they say, well, that's the decision that we took. That was the best at the time. But at the end of the day, what's your own observation and then the argument that has been made in respect of the current judgment by the Court of Appeal?
So let me take this opportunity to wish your lovely viewers a good morning. Wish yourself a good morning.
Thank you.
My brother in suit and my very good friend Fifi a good morning. Fifi, allow me to speak a new interjection. Wish my honorable here a good morning and wish my prof here a good morning. And I think within your question lies a lot of the answers. Because you take the case of the USA. The US, the most powerful economy, obviously hasn't always been the most powerful economy. But US radically changed after the American Civil War. And they changed because of the bold initiative of certain young men who are credited with building America into the powerful economy that they are today. You mentioned people like Vanderbilt, who's credited with having built or building the US railway system. You talk about Kaneshie, who was at the heart of the steel revolution in the US, and we see his legacy in all the huge skyscrapers in Chicago and in New York and in most of the American cities. You talk about Rockefeller, who is credited with being the man who got the American oil industry rolling. And you talk about JP Morgan, who is credited with being the person who built the American banking system. When we talk about banking is at the center of every economy, of every productive, or the production side of every economy. Because when you define what an economy is the state of every nation in terms of its production and consumption of goods and services and the supply of money. And you can't not do or build this without a very strong intermediation system. And when we talk about intermediation, then the first call is the bank, the insurance companies. And when you talk about intermediation, then you are talking about confidence. It's confidence that keeps the intermediation system running. Now, you see, let's tell the story and let's tell it well. See, what happened in 2017, opinion, is the biggest weaponization of regulation to kill industries and to pursue parochial agendas.
Parochial agenda?
Yeah. It's the biggest and the wildest radicalization and weaponization of the powers we gave people to build this country. You understand? They weaponized it and attacked the young men who were given the tax or who are taking upon themselves that huge tax of building this country. Now, you see, the financial crisis matter began when we entered the IMF. One of the reasons why we went to the IMF in 2014, 2015 was a recognition
2015
of problems that intermediation sector, the banking sector, was bedeviled with because of the extent of the bad loans. Now, His Excellency John Mahama and the Bank of Ghana at that time, and I think we have not praised them enough, instead of killing the banks, killing jobs, and killing confidence, which is the bedrock of intermediation, took the decision that the US took in 2008, that you yourself said Nigeria took. You understand? Because see, when you are faced with such a problem, you must look at it holistically. And you must handle the situation in a manner that does not kill the confidence. You understand? Because without confidence, we can't have banking. We can't have intermediation. You get a picture? Took that bold, that patriotic decision to save the situation, to keep what's called intact the confidence of the people of Ghana in our intermediation system. So they decided to solve the problem by giving them loans. So giving these banks loans. But we must recognize that the Bank of Ghana which is the holder of monetary policy, which is a regulator, and is also a bank of last resort. Now, what that means is that where banks have liquidity issues, they can always seek facilities from the banks, you understand, to aid them. So some of these institutions, what's called apply for loans, and Bank of Ghana gave them the loans. Now, there was no...
You mean the liquidity support?
Yeah, but there were loans. You see, so why I say weaponization? Because they deliberately...
the Bulldesk report,
liquidity support is... Please,
the Bulldesk report did indicate.
Please, let me land
that the shareholders and directors, some of them is applied.
Alleged. Please use the word alleged. And that's why people are in court.
There be rulings on it.
Please don't interject. They are alleged. And that's why, Jemba, please, stop him. They are allegations. And that's why people are in court. As we speak, a lot of banks are in court. We've seen one ruling. We see a lot more. Because what was in the Bulldesk report were allegations. They have not been subjected to cross-examination. Neither have they gone to court.
Indeed, Prince Kofi Amobeng has spoken widely.
So let me build the point so we understand.
Please build the point.
See, the point is that I'm talking about weaponization. Nana Addo and his cousin.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, let me mention his name because it is also in Ejapadiye. Strange that
you believe in Ejapadiye.
Listen. Strange that now I'm coming. Please, leave me. Allow me. It is so strange. And listen, I've mentioned here.
When you were talking, you said that he was relaxed.
You see, it's strange. It's strange that.
Note down your point, Fifi.
You see, I mentioned Nostradamus once here on this platform. Nostradamus. That Nostradamus is one of the few people who say things and they happen. And the only book that compared to Nostradamus is the Ejapadiye. Or strangely, in Ejapadiye, it was stated that, listen, when we come, we are going to deal with Hindu. We are going to deal with, what's his name? The owner of...
Well, for the African tradition, the Ejapadiye, they say is...
listen.
It's a phantom of...
Phantom, and suddenly everything in Ejapadiye is happening. Please, let me build my point. You understand? So what did they do? They used propaganda, vile propaganda, you understand, to give people bad names in this country, to elicit support from the general public. So when they hung them, people hailed it. They didn't see the bigger picture. You understand? The point is that you gave loans to these banks. When you say liquidity support, they drove a narrative that suggested that liquidity support was money that we dashed these banks. But really, they were loans given to the banks. The question is that were they paying the loans? Were they paying the loans? And the answer is yes. Not once did these people default in the loans that they called liquidity support and used it to drive a certain narrative that suggested as if those monies were dashed. But throughout their narrative, there was not one shred of evidence that showed that these banks who are giving liquidity support by the Mahama government, the Bank of Ghana, the Mahama government, defaulted in any of these loans. You understand? So for me, clearly, you see one government who showed a radical and a fundamental commitment to building the institutions, the structures in this country that would lead to the development of our economy. And another government, the government of Nana Akufo-Addo, and I don't see why MPP will want to bring themselves in, because you have allowed this man to destroy your party.
But why do you keep mentioning...
Listen, because it was not an MPP's agenda. What happened wasn't an MPP agenda. It was an agenda by Nana Addo and his, what's called, Ofeata caucus. It was their agenda. And the MPP have allowed themselves to be tainted and destroyed by one man's negative agenda against the country. I'm saying that, you see, because is it not strange that beyond Ejapadiye, you take the case of Capital Bank and take the case of Beige. And in both these cases, Ofeata attempted to buy those banks around the time when they purportedly were so terrible that they had to be destroyed. Is it not strange? And two, are you not worried that a bank owned by a member of the NDC had to be collapsed on the whimsical reason that the owner of the bank was not fit and proper? Was not fit and proper. So who is fit and proper to own a bank in this country? And do you know the damage that wicked, negative, devilish, familiar spirit agenda has done to this country?
Familiar spirit?
It's not just familiar, it's also devilish, demonic, evil spirit. Do you know what that has done to the economy of this country? What it has done to the confidence of the people of Ghana in our intermediary, in our intermediation system? And strangely, this government that destroyed the banks, which ought to be the fulcrum of our productivity agenda, could not pay Ghanaians who had trusted in the principle that says that the safest place to place your monies was in the government. They couldn't pay.
Why are you so sad? Why did you lose money in the crisis?
Listen.
Or do you have friends? Why
no,
are you so
listen. I ought to take it personally.
Because the Bank of Ghana at the time did say that there were insider lending and related parties and trading by the directors, the shareholders of this bank. They also continue. There was misuse of liquidity support. That's what they said. And then they also said there were regulatory breaches.
You see all these. Listen, when it comes to banking, the banking sector, the fundamental principle that underlines banking is the principle enunciated in the case of Foley and Hill, and also in the Joachimson case, which says that when you give money to a bank, it becomes the property of the bank. Now, in how the bank invests, whether loan, whether placements, you understand? The question is, did they follow the laid down procedure of their bank? And you must understand that the standard operating procedures of banks are subject to Bank of Ghana's regulations. So when they make that wild allegation, have we subjected this to cross-examination? And that's why you see that when they are being tested in the law courts, the reason Bank of Ghana gave, you understand, cannot stand. And we've seen the first example with GM Bank.
Their case is
because I told you that it was a case of give the dog a bad name and hang it. I'm saying here that it was a weaponization, a vile weaponization of regulation by certain individuals who came to power, you understand, and came and advanced a parochial agenda as against the country's agenda. You get picture, Roland. And I'm saying that, listen, because of that, a lot of wild allegations has been made. But you see, when they are subjugated to the law courts, what you find very soon, that a lot of them will crumble. And I'm asking a simple question. The Heritage Bank, they said they collapsed the bank they whimsically collapsed the bank with a reason that the owner was not a fit and proper person. Fit and proper.
Seidu Agongo.
Fit and proper. Mm-hmm. Fit and proper. They lie. They lie that use twist words, liquidity support, and Ghanaians believed that liquidity support was money that had been dashed to the banks. When indeed they were loans. The question is, if they were loans, were they paying those monies? And at the time when they took this wicked decision that impacted the confidence required to keep our intermediation system working, did we ask? At that time, they turned public opinion against these people who were private people who were engaged in. This is one of the biggest. You see why this is one of the biggest evils that has been done in our country.
You're a legal practitioner. Shouldn't we stick to what the proper position of the Bank of Ghana is?
That's why people are in court. If we should stick, that's why people are in court. People are in court because Bank of Ghana, under the see when you say Bank of Ghana, it hides a lot of things. I'm going to collapse the bank. Bank of Ghana took the decision to support the banks to grow. The Bank of Ghana under another regime suddenly takes a U-turn and use vile propaganda. Understand? Paint companies, banks dirty without thinking about the confidence that is the bedrock of our intermediation sector everywhere else. But it was the same Bank of Ghana. So the question, what was the difference? What was the factor? The factor was we had one Bank of Ghana, John Mahama, who looked at the bigger picture. So that, listen, I do not need to do anything that will undermine the confidence of the people in our intermediation system. So let me salvage these banks like the US did, like Nigeria did, and Bank of Ghana under another regime. And I say, listen, and there's a reason I say I'm not going to say MPP. My only issue with MPP is that MPP sat aloof. They sat aloof and allowed some few people who had an agenda different from the agenda of the party, you understand, to destroy Ghanaian businesses. Ghanaian business, and they sat there aloof. They sat there aloof. Because, you see, when you take the case of the GN, one of the reasons they also give was that, listen, we have increased what's called the minimum capital requirement. So Now, you talked about amalgamation, like was used in Nigeria, was also used in South Africa.
Well, there are a number of banks that are part of GAT, including Omni and some of them as well. And that is not in dispute.
Listen.
And that's why I asked the question.
That's strangely.
And that's the question.
That's what I'm also saying strangely. And we shouldn't discount that a book appears in Ghana called Ejapadia. That sets a certain agenda. And almost everything in that book has happened. And those almost everything also includes.
Hold your fire.
No, let me finish with this. Also includes. Let us destroy Indu. Let us destroy. What's called? What's the owner of the Unibank? What's the owner of the Unibank? Unibank.
Unibank, Dr. Dufour.
Let's destroy Dufour because we're two of them.
I have Dr. Richmond Etiahene. He's a known banking consultant, not only of Ghana, but also international repute. Good morning to you. And you have done a proper and better analysis of the effects of the Bank of Ghana decisions on the number of banks that went down under, so to speak. Now, you look at the remedies that those shareholders or directors of those banks currently are seeking in court, and then the current decision by the Court of Appeal. Would you say that, by your observation, the Bank of Ghana needs to appeal this?
You can't go straight to say appeal. You know, if you like, I will read the law and the Constitution.
Please do. Go ahead.
It says that in Ghana, Court of Appeal is generally bound by decision of Supreme Court. That is the number one, what we call the doctrine of stare decisis. It means that Supreme Court has the authority. But however, there are a few important nuances which distinguish facts and issues, which the appeal court may reach a different outcome. It reached a different outcome based on facts and legal issues, which were materially different from what was given to the Supreme Court. What was materially different? Although the Supreme Court is the ultimate, but there has been instances where the facts that might have been presented to the Supreme Court were not the same facts that were made available to the Court of Appeal. Now, it is what we call the conflict of what we call it. What is it? Let me call the word they have. We call it a conflict of judicial conflict. Then it beholds on if the Supreme Court thinks that what they didn't have the facts, maybe you may revisit it. Maybe if only the aggrieved person can go to the Supreme Court. So it is not as simple as it is. If the facts that were given originally to the Supreme Court is not the same facts that the appeal of court found out, it is not going to be easy. You can go there and they will even reaffirm, because now they will have all the facts to reaffirm it. So that is a very tricky issue. So it's not a question of going or not going. It's a question of the facts presented and the data submitted to them.
Very well. That said, it also means that for many of the concerns that have been raised by the individuals who are the center of either playing key roles, shareholding and directorship, and the concerns they had raised over the years since their banks went down under, how would we juxtapose the concerns they have expressed with what the key issues are? Misapplication of maybe stated funds that were, again, given to those individual banks to be able to recapitalize them. And then critically also, the regulatory breaches, and then the misuse of the liquidity support, insider trading, insider lending, diversion of deposited funds as key issues that were raised with the current status quo.
Well, let me first go to this point. As you said, there's a wider implication of the ruling of the Court of Appeal. And what you rightly said, the other people, the other shareholders who thought that they have not been fairly treated, or let me borrow the word used by the Appeal Court. They said unreasonably and unfair, fair and unreasonable. Any of the parties who thinks that he was unfair and unreasonably treated, possibly stand a chance of going back to the court. That is where the serious implication of the ruling brings about. If anyone thinks, forget about the capital adequacy, forget about the what we call the limit, single of legal issues there. If anyone thinks that he has not been treated as these people have been treated, they definitely have to go to court. It has got a wider implication. It has got a serious wider implication. And some of them are aggrieved because they think they didn't listen to them very well. And the argument put forward in those days doesn't look like I just wanted to support the system. I just wanted to bring the system down. So now the court is the issue is very serious. There is no two ways about that. It's one of the biggest challenges if they do not go to appeal court and if they don't go to Supreme. And if you go to Supreme and they affirm what the High Court of Appeal, then the thing is a very serious thing for Ghana because it has got financial implications. People are talking about it. They've forgotten already. We spent 30 billion, but we haven't been able to bring the banks back. I mean, even the ones they set up, go and ask them your position, what they are at the moment. So it is my prayer that this thing do not drag on because it has dire consequences on the physical cost, the physical and the budget implication. It has a serious regulatory issues. And what is more important, a receiver who has actually sold items is being called to do what we call restitution. Go and bring it back as it was. And it is going to be very, very difficult. So it is not a case that can easily be kept like the way it's going. Implications are the Bank of Ghana even credibility. We call the institutional credibility. If it goes the way it's going, I can tell you the institutional credibility becomes institutional incredible because your rules can easily be overturned.
Yeah.
And these are the things, That is the reason why anytime we have this situation, let us be very objective and critical about the analysis. We've already spent 30 billion and the cost is going to increase. If the courts decide to talk about, as they have said, reinstating, there are going to be damages. Compensation and damages. Calculated compensation and damages. And this will go into the hazard budget implication. That is the reason why anytime we're going to do anything, the first thing we should ask ourselves, is it good? Is it going to be good for the state or the nation? Unfortunately, some of the things that happen, you ask yourself, you begin to ask that. Let me talk Papa Cuisine. Come in. He used the court used a word. Government receivables. Government receivables. It means that government in one way was owing the man, and because of that, it affected his bank. The first thing is that if it was to do what we call right of set-off, when accounts are held in the same name, and one is in credit, one is in debit, we move them together and score it and give you maybe a small negative or positive. Unfortunately, somebody took one idea and saying that this government is different from Bank of Ghana. But let me tell you, when Bank of Ghana went down after the GDP, who is going to recapitalize? Is it not government?
The taxpayer, yes.
So why couldn't they have sat down and look at it reasonably? And be fair, I'm not a judge, I'm not a lawyer, but from banking perspective, we have the right of set-off. Right of set-off, whenever there is a debit in account and credit in account, we look at it and synchronize the two and see the positive or the negative. Unfortunately, when he was putting that argument, somebody said that I am a central bank, but you're the central bank. Your ownership is government, and government is owing you so much money. Why can't you even go there and negotiate for these monies to be paid so that I can ratify my banks? I mean, these issues are very, very serious, and we shouldn't just think it's easy.
Okay, but on the other side, and the reason why we called you this morning, because, of course, there are many experts, but you seem foremostly to be one of the more important players and consultants who at the time criticized the policy decision that the Bank of Ghana took at the time, and then also at the same time the roles played by the directors and the shareholders. The reasons for which those banks were so-called, the decision made for them to go into administration, receivership, etc. How do those reasons or benchmarks, if we were supposed to benchmark those same criteria for the current players in the industry, the banks, the commercial bank we have today, would you say they will be in good standing?
Well, you see, if you thought the banks were not in good standing, this is not the first country this happened. You know, when it happened, the financial sector crisis, financial crisis in America, all that you do, you take the directors out, pump money in, let them run the banks so that they will pay the money you put into the. You don't just close it, because closing it has a serious ramification. I mean, look, J.P. Morgan, Citibank, they were all in crisis 2008, 2009. Go and read it. But the American government saw the importance of this financial sector, or banking sector, and decided to do what you call the TARP, T-A-R-P. If you check it, the TRP, you pump money in, you take the directors out, you take the equation out, and bring professionals to run the organization. When the organization comes to its own time, then you hand it over and warn them, or even tell them not to point it. Unfortunately, we took it as if it was something we can do and get away with it. And I'm telling you, from what you even have said, let me tell you something that a lot of people are not even talking about. We are talking about the reinstatement of restoration of proper Cuisine. What about the banks that took GATS, G8, Ghana Amalgamated Trust? Go and ask the two banks that are in. They're almost gone. They're almost gone. Yeah, they're almost gone. And if you don't take it, that too would also have financial implications. And all these things happened in 2018, 2019. And I'm asking myself, is there no other alternative that we could have used to save the institution? There are too many issues. We could have done it. Currently, Nigeria is facing problem with capital requirement. And they are not going to handle it the way we handle us. Because if you handle it that way, my brother, you are crashing the economy. Once you're crashing the economy today, you're crashing the economy for the future. Because now look at the financial cost. If nothing is done and they decide to reinstate it, to restore it, the process through it and the cost involved, it will be far more exceedingly above than maybe the 30 billion or the 20 billion we've spent already. So let us be very more professional when it comes to the financial sector. Other than that, it is not something you can just say, do it and you do it and get away with it. So for me, I think we have hit the rock, but it is not insurmountable. We must find a way around it. Other than that, we're going to have more than 2018 and 2019.
All right. My last question. If we have to do it diligently and then efficiently, hold shareholders and directors more accountable as it is today, then it means that we keep the banks or the institutions and then we punish the shareholders and the directors who breach the regulations?
Well, the law allows you to do that. The law, I think BSDI 930, there are areas for punishment and recrimination. But before you do that, you must also examine yourself. Let me ask you these questions. All the banks that closed down were audited by external auditors. So how can they prove vicarious liability when you have audited it and submitted your report? It was when the boulders came in and they found all these schools. Meanwhile, the auditors have done it already. And if you remember Atlantis in America, what did happen to them in those days? What I'm saying is that it has so many, it's what we call the multifaceted areas. People who even audited it. And the Bank of Ghana, so they went there. I know the Bank of Ghana people went there to do the examination. But this did not come out until the boulders came to find out these were the potholes. So if you're going to say the shareholders was wrong, what about even the Bank of Ghana staff who did the examination? Who did it? And the auditors who appended their signature on the account.
Yeah.
It means, you see, it is sort of, I don't know, it's a multi-pronged, I don't know how to call it. But you see, it's not only the shareholders, because the shareholders have a problem. The share directors have a share, and you send report every other day. And why didn't you even sanction them when the report was coming to you? Yeah. And let me tell you, I've been in a bank for nearly 30-something years. You know, every month there are certain reports that we send to DOG. Every month, every week, some of them are even the liquidity are daily. Some are 3 months, some are a month. So all these things would have surfaced. And when you're not convinced, you send your team to go in and find out why did we allow these things to deteriorate to that extent? What? So the fact is that there are too many people involved, too many people, not shareholders alone. Even the Bank of Ghana itself, some of the people were in examination and supervision because they didn't sit there and do it overnight. It went on and on and on and on. So if you're talking about the directors and shareholders, then we must also look internal.
Well, true. And if you take a proper perusal of the Boulders report, you find even those from the Banking Supervision Department and their collusion and the auditors. Thank you very much, and then also for your passionate contribution on the subject as well. Over 35 years experience in the banking sector and then consultancy in the same sector. So Dr. Richmond Ituahene, and your conclusion, he seemed to have vindicated you. Just a minute.
So
one minute.
I have a lot to say on this, but to end, you see,
1 minute.
People wonder, because you see, what happened was one of the biggest evils that was done to this country.
You know what?
Biggest, please allow me to. You are not the host.
I've allowed you. But you see, it is also not right for you to sit here and attack people.
Yes, I have to attack people who have killed Ghana. I will attack anybody who kills Ghana. Madam Fo, don't bring this here.
It's okay.
You see a bit of me.
1 minute. 1 minute. 30 seconds.
Ghanaians should never forget this evil that was done to us. You see, the long and short of this is that we had one government who faced with this same problem, saw the sense in protecting the confidence of that industry and decided to save these institutions. And there's no evidence anywhere that the loan they gave these companies, they defaulted just once. And you have another government under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo and his cousin, what's it called, Kenufrata, plus the Wizkid, the Ronaldo, the Messi of economics, Baumia, who decided, having been faced with the same problem, to kill these banks. And these people were the ones who brought DDEP. They brought DDEP. They brought DDEP.
That has killed. That took the decision, lawyer.
Listen, I'm telling you that the same Bank of Ghana, so it's the same Bank of Ghana. The same Bank of Ghana decided that I'll save them. Then the same Bank of Ghana suddenly says that I'll kill them. Then what's the factor? What's the difference? Why did Bank of Ghana change? Bank of Ghana changed because of the influence coming from the top, from Nanado, from Baumia, from Ken Ofufuyata. These people killed Ghana, and there were people who brought about DDEP. DDEP that killed numerous Ghanaians. We should not forget this. Never in our history should we forget this evil. And if there's a time for reset, that reset will not be completed unless there's a restoration of these banks.
Your point on this, your own observation so far. I haven't listened to everybody. Conclude for me, because I want us to have 3 minutes on the xenophobia issue, and then we can.
But it's important that some of the wild allegations that have been made.
You have your 3 minutes.
But what has also
It's your Fifi, you have the chance. If you allow him to talk, Walter.
I believe that, yes, in as much as some banks were doing well and probably should have been, recapitalized, I also feel that reading the Boulders reports and probably getting the summaries of it, I also feel that some of these banks, didn't have that kind of merit that probably the Bank of Ghana should have extended to them. Why am I saying that? I see, or I saw some level of cartel networks within the banks, where, there was some kind of deliberate attempt, to rob the depositors of their, deposits and all that. And I feel strongly that even the courts then should have gone a step further to even charge, the directors of those banks and even the owners, all right? But we didn't see it coming, and it was never done.
Well, there was a Cuisine.
Yes, a Cuisine was just one out of the lots, all right? Probably he was unfortunate and couldn't get anybody to protect him, in that direction. But I feel that, like lawyer said, yes, the financial sector is one of the strongest pillars of every economy. And if you are not taking time to build and to strengthen our financial sector, then I feel that we are in trouble. Now, for instance, look, how would even the Borders report indict a whole Bank of Ghana, for sleeping on its job and not doing what they were supposed to have done? Is it the case that the supervisory unit of the Bank of Ghana, didn't see some of the things that were happening? What were the checks done on the operations of banks in this country? All right. Now, why would you sit for a bank to record a liability beyond a certain threshold, which is demanded by the Bank of Ghana? Then what it means is that the Bank of Ghana's supervision department wasn't doing its job as they were supposed to have done. And if you sleep on the job as a supervisor, what do you expect? If you create that kind of laxity within the banking space, what do you expect to be done? Okay, so for me, I feel that the Bank of Ghana had its own challenges, and they cannot be taken out of the blame, of what we are seeing and what we are discussing today. And I feel that the decision of the appeal court is a wake-up call, to the Bank of Ghana, as it were, to tighten its governance structures and monetary policies, within the banking space. We are yet to see worse things, to come. Now, Unibank is off the dial. Group Indum is also off. And like Honorable said, others are still in court, waiting for their cases to be heard, isn't it?
And some will still go to court.
Exactly. And Dr. Atuahine was speaking to the fact that, look, if those who have won their cases decide to go to court for compensations, what is going to have happen to our budget for next year? What is going to happen to the Bank of Ghana books and all that? Then obviously it means that we are going to see some more losses from the camp of the Bank of Ghana. And so the last loss was what? Is it 15 billion?
Yeah, around
34.
Okay. So what was recorded was 15, right?
15.
Okay.
The MPP had 34.
But the operational cost, that one is not a
so
loss.
What it means is that...
Don't change the subject.
What it means is that there's going to be an addition. Okay? And we need to understand that some of these losses could have been saved. And if we are able to save some of these losses, we can channel it, to proper developments. Why would we be going to IMF 17 good times, okay, and we still don't know our way out? We keep creating holes that will just be leaking money out just like that, and it is not good for a growing economy like Ghana. We need to sit up. People will have to sit and work. I mean, lawyer was talking about, confidence within our space. Now, if I think that even coming from those days, I mean, the 80s, 90s, where people preferred to keep their monies in their bedroom, to even depositing at the banks, it was a clear loss of confidence. And look at how far we have come, where now people, have confidence in the banks. Look, I understand that the deposits in even Momo, MTN Momo, is even higher than the deposits in the banks as at now. Why? Is it a complete loss of confidence in our banking sector or what? I believe that if we are talking about confidence, we are talking about trust. And it is a resource that probably can help or drive efficiency within the banking sector. What we need to do is that regulations should be allowed to work, and, Bank of Ghana should sit up. Dr. Etuahi was speaking to the fact that if we are not careful, Bank of Ghana is going to lose that kind of regulatory confidence that it has. And when that happens, where are we going as a country? What direction are we going as a country? We need to sit up and work even harder.
Okay. Roland, I never, as you started with me.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yes, I'm not Roland, taking your 2 minutes. So that because my time is up.
I never said that Ghanaian businesses, irrespective of the businesses no following regulations, rules, should be allowed to do whatever. That is not the point. The point I'm making here, or I was making, is that, look, when there was an initial assessment, BNI did investigations about this bank in 2015, okay? That was President Mahama regime. President Mahama and the Bank of Ghana then could have collapsed these banks. But they saw wisdom and said, look, instead of the funds that we need to inject to let these banks continue to operate is better than collapsing them. So they were able to manage these banks, and they were in business. You understand? A particular regime came. Instead of, look, when they did the assessment, they needed 9 billion to keep the banks ongoing. But they chose to spend over 20 billion to collapse the banks. That is the concern about many Ghanaians. You understand? If you could use 9 billion to sustain the banks and now enforce your own regulations, look, there were procedural flaws in the decisions that Bank of Ghana took. The courts are bringing out all these things. Bank of Ghana itself, they were, did not honestly, they had procedural flaws in implementing their own rules. These ones are coming from the court. So if you did not, you are the regulator, you did not regulate the bank so well, and they fall short of the rules.
So you take the decision, and that was the decision
of the
Bank of Ghana took.
Now, so I'm saying that yes, you took the decision, but most of the banks too needed to be heard. They needed to be heard, which the then administration failed to do. They failed totally to comply. They didn't want to listen to them. What they wanted to do was what they did. So today we are all paying a price for it. Many of these banks were doing so well. Royal Bank was doing well. Heritage Bank was doing well. Unibank, they were targeted. Check the banks that were collapsed. Check the banks. Check. And you come to the conclusion that what my brother is so furious around this platform, he's pained because look, they could do something about these banks. They could sustain the banks without collapsing them. They could do it. But they didn't want to do it because they had a motive. That is what we are concerned about.
Okay, thank you.
You wanted to respond?
Oh, yeah.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Just do that 2 minutes.
1 minute. Let me say that I think my friend Apia Dankwa has been very, very reckless this morning. I won't miss words. He's been reckless this morning. It's not fair. It is not right to come sit on television, and I don't know what has
motive.
What has occasioned his actions this morning, because the attacks, really, where is it coming from? Apia Dankwa, did you sleep at the wrong side of your bed last night?
I told you a solution that find something for me.
The wild allegations is made on this show. I am shocked that he will go on that tangent. But they are talking about confidence. According to them, the people who sit on this table and talk about confidence, their proposal is that the Bank of Ghana must renege on its responsibility of supervising. Rather, when banks are in trouble, give them money because that will restore confidence, and then your responsibility to ensure that the right thing is done, forget about it, and that builds confidence. People are giving their monies to these banks. The banks are doing the wrong thing, and you say that when you give them money, it boosts confidence. So go ahead and do that, and that builds confidence. That is a responsibility. That is not confidence building. They were talking about the fact that Heritage Bank, because the person was NDC, I do not know. I know Zedu Agongo, but I do not know Zedu Agongo to be NDC. I know him to be a businessman.
Who said that?
Because he was.
Oh, Apia Dankwa said that.
I said because of Senate, that's what you finished.
Apia Dankwa said that.
It was you should define what
allow me to proceed.
So they just allow.
Heritage Bank was collapsed because they obtained their license through a fraudulent capital. This is what Heritage Bank did, and this is called document. Heritage Bank, monies were moved from, for example, Roland's account to my account, and Roland's account is printed. Then I also print my bank statement, and I move the same money to Apia Dankwa's account.
Well, said Wagongo over the years, since his bank was collapsed, has contested that.
But, well, they should adduce evidence to back this claim. They should go to court like others have done. He will move money from one bank, about 5 to 6 bank companies, and printed the statement to Bank of Ghana to back the procurement of the license. Is that something we must encourage? Is that something we must support? And you sit here to say that persons who raise this issue are rather wicked. They rather mean to collapse people's businesses. We've had individuals
like
what we must encourage?
Come to say that even prior to the collapse of his bank, for example,
he was approached.
He was approached by Ken Oforiatta.
You know what individuals say?
You said they are lying.
I have not spoken to Ken Oforiatta. I have heard what Kofi Amoabe has said. That's a conversation that happened between the two of them. I am not in a position to confirm. Honorable, listen.
He has never come out to deny that.
Ken Oforiatta is not one person who moves from radio station to radio station explaining his matters. So let us leave that by the side. That is not okay. He's not here. Okay. What happened between the two of them, we do not know. But what happened in court is available for us to know. What happened in the Borders report is available for all of us to know. Public document. But the final thing, which I will say, for Apia Dankwa, to say, because he never mentioned no. It's not about me, but I am so disappointed. I expected of him to say that he believes in a Japadie. Anyone who says he believes in a Japadie, for me, I do not place any value on anything that person says. Because you know what? It has been proven beyond reasonable doubt in this country that a Japadi is actually people sitting in their rooms. When something happens, they write it and they update it day by day. And this is something you believe in to say that it was a document that was in existence some time ago. Come on, Apia Dankwa. You can do better for yourself than what you've done this morning.
Fifi Boavo. And I have a message from Ejapa for you. It says that, what you did was not right. So.
Oh, Ejapa Mesa.
Yeah.
Today is his birthday. So let me wish you happy birthday.
Bobo, happy birthday. He says the Heritage Bank was collapsed because they obtained their license on fraudulent capital. They transferred money among about 5 to 6 companies and individuals. That's what happened over a few days.
And he said that because it's NDC.
Used that as basis for the capital requirement. Essentially, 20 million was moved around among the panelists. 20 million was moved around, each printing a statement and then transferring to them. basically. And then he also uses some words to describe it because your vituperations this morning seem to have.
He slept on the wrong side of his bed last night.
Ejapa Mesa, my brother, you see, they should bow their heads down in shame. S-H-A-M-E. For being part. No, listen. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just saying that, and all MPP members, you should bow your heads in shame for sitting down and allowing just about 3 people.
Adduce evidence to back that claim.
Also adduce evidence.
Adduce evidence to back the claim.
Listen.
You are attacking people without any basis.
30 seconds.
At the end of the day, and they transfer money from banks to banks. What's the evidence to show that, even in the case of Heritage Bank?
Is that not the report?
Oh, allow me to speak. And I say everything in the report is a mere allegation. People are going to court. And whenever they are going to court, I'm saying they are matters in court. They are matters in court.
I know for a fact that. I know for a fact that Heritage Bank will get to court.
You see, allegations without basis.
Passionate about this bank.
Listen, they must go to court. I'm very disappointed if Heritage Bank does not go to court because essentially what they are saying is that when you make money from contracts, you understand? Where you make money from contracts that were legitimately granted you, and use those monies to capitalize the bank. It is criminal.
You mean those?
And then what do they mean by what's it called? Not proper, fit and proper. What do they mean by? You see, at the end of the day, the key point is that for a lot of these banks, government of Ghana owed monies. Do you understand? A lot of contracts the banks had financed, and they failed to. The point is, we are talking about when they are dealing with issues. that goes to the heart of the very confidence of one of the fundamental institutions
in this country. If you hear the stories surrounding
you must think about Ghana.
If you hear the stories surrounding
to use your party to kill this country. And you say what?
Now, whether you're aiming for a specialist MBA, marketing, communications, operations, supply chain, HR, finance, entrepreneurship, analytics, business analytics, etc. Please, they have great packages for you. If you're working, they make it easier for you. They have a timetable for you going to school that works around your working life. And then also you can pay in installment what your fees are. Please reach out for them on the number 026 388 8555, or you can also go to their portal www.ugc.edu.gr. I've seen a couple of your messages, and so I'm grateful for them. Prince Echampong, and then I also Prince Daniel York, Atukwekwe, and the rest of everybody else who has been on our stream. We're grateful for your comments as well. Zilis Dwayne in the UK, but also remember to pack up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of peck milk shortcake. It is pure delight. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you sports headlines next.
I mean, I've watched so many teams lift the cup, Manchester City, Liverpool, and now I saw my captain lift the cup, and that's a very special feeling.
It feels great. Congratulations
Yeah.
one more time.
Thank you.
I thought you come here rocking your jersey or something.
Oh, no,
like this whole week, you guys should have been rocking your jerseys.
No, we are calm. We are waiting for the Champions League.
Hey.
Yeah.
God has given you...
It's this Saturday.
God has opened the door for you small.
No,
now you want to take advantage.
We want Champions League.
You want the Champions League?
We want it.
Okay. And you're sure you'll get it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
90+1.
I hear you.
Gabriel Magalhaes, header from a corner.
That's all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Eshan joins us for sports. And, well, of course, he's very excited about it, understandably so. Over the weekend, I saw so many of you guys wearing your jerseys, rocking it, and being all excited. But the Man City people didn't keep quiet, so they're also making a lot of noise.
Yeah. Their head coach is leaving. So, I mean, they have to show appreciation to a man who has won 20 titles and all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's
Why is he leaving, though?
He didn't give exact reasons.
Okay.
I mean...
Is it that you don't care? That's why you're saying...
Oh, but yeah, to be honest, I don't care. And I'm even happy he's leaving. He's worried us too much.
So you're happy he's going, so that he doesn't worry you again?
Yes, so that we can dominate. Yeah.
I see. You will give it time. We are waiting. You said this weekend.
Yes.
We are waiting. We'll see if you come here with Vim.
I will come with the Vim.
I hear you. But, well, over the weekend as well, Ghana played Mexico. I couldn't watch because it was 2 a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
Why? Couldn't they have agreed on the time that favors us small?
The thing is, it was like evening Mexico time on Friday, and converting it to our time was like 2.
That was at dawn, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean...
So what, how many hours... We are how many hours ahead of them?
It's like...
6 hours?
Yeah, more or less.
6 hours,
like
okay.
6 hours.
I see.
Yeah, so that was the time they played. I actually woke up to watch it.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Was it worth watching?
No, not so much.
Is it because we lost or the boys just didn't play well? Which one?
So the thing is, a number of the guys who played and the guys you are used to in the Black Stars, they're not the usual suspects that the coach will call. And that's understandable because the match was happening when club football was happening.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't get
the top players.
Yeah, the full complement of the team. But I think they kept the scoreline very respectable. It could have been 4, it could have been 5, but the 2 is fine. And I think the main focus will now be against Wales, where we'll see the full complement of the team. And even with that, actually, some players have already appeared in Wales. And they've started camp.
When is the match?
It's on the 2nd of June. So
they're already there?
Some are already there. So I saw a video which reviewed Jordan Ayew there, Fatawu Isahaku, Marvin Sinaya, and then Elisha Owusu. I'd reckon there are some more people who have already arrived in camp.
Don't they all have club football to play?
Oh, they are
These
done.
ones? They're done. So that's why they're able to go.
Yes,
okay. Okay. I see. That's interesting. So Jordan Ayew and who else?
Jordan Ayew, Marvin Sinaya, Isahaku, and then Elisha Owusu. So those were the ones we would expect some more names to come in from today until the end of the week.
And we're sure that these names we've just mentioned are likely to make it into the World Cup team.
There's so little time, so you would reckon that these names would be the ones that Carlos Queiroz actually named in the squad. I wouldn't expect that he calls someone that he wouldn't add to the list. So you would expect that someone like Jordan Ayew should be in the list and the rest.
But he hasn't really experienced the boys. And I thought that he would have made an appearance at a friendly match just so that he'll be on the ground and understand, the boys better. Even though it's not the main boys that played.
Yeah.
Why did he absent himself?
He gave personal reasons. That was the communication by the Ghana
We're not taking personal reasons.
That was the communication.
We're too close to the World Cup to be dealing with personal reasons at this point. That's not good enough, is it?
Yeah. I mean, I would have expected that he watched.
I'm sure he watched regardless.
Okay, maybe he watched from wherever he was. But it would have been nicer if he was closer to the touchline.
Or we probably would have blamed him for this loss and said that he's not starting on a good foot, so maybe we shouldn't keep him. I'm sure he was scared of all that as well.
Maybe.
But if he had been there, who knows? Maybe we could have scored some 5-0. If he was there. You never know. He could have jinxed it in a nice way for us. Let's leave it there. When is he releasing his list for the World Cup?
On the 1st of June.
1st of June.
Yeah, so the day before the Wales game.
Okay.
We'll know the squad.
Okay. Hey, but, I'm thinking, so what if he releases the list, but you're already playing against Wales, but you didn't make it on the list? Or it's not possible that they'll play?
It will be weird if he releases a list of players
and you're not part.
And then
you're playing against.
And you play again. I think
it's not possible, is it?
Oh no, I think it will be so weird.
Okay. Then let's just wait and see how it goes. So that's on the 1st of June.
Yeah.
And then 2nd of June we play against Wales. Where are we playing that?
In Wales.
In Wales as well. Okay. Are you gonna go?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here with you.
Good morning, Michael. I keep asking him whether he'll go for all these games. It's an agenda, please. Let's agenda. Let's talk about the Under-17 World Cup.
Yes. Unfortunately.
You need to say amen.
Amen. But unfortunately, moving on, the Black Starlets failed to qualify for the Under-17 World Cup. They played against Uganda. And surprise, surprise, Lai Kingston was the coach of Uganda. Yes.
How?
Oh, you're saying how? But it's happened. He's their coach.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and he beat us on penalties. The game ended 2-2, but on penalties, they defeated us by 8-7.
Okay, Lai is not Olele. Olele was the goalkeeper. Lai is the dreadlocks.
The dreadlocks, yeah, his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, his brother.
Oh, yes, okay.
And about 2 years ago, Lai was actually the coach of our Black Stars.
Okay.
And he's moved on. He's now with Uganda, and he will now reach the World Cup. But there were some things that even happened before this game that some people found weird, because Ghana actually had the same points as Algeria, same goal difference. Everything was the same.
Okay.
And so per the CAF rules, the only way to separate them for second or third would be this term that they give in Chi,
I haven't even
drawing the lots.
Oh, okay. That's what it's called.
Yes.
I see.
It's like pure luck kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the luck favored Algeria. So they finished second and we finished third, and we had to face Uganda. And unfortunately, we didn't beat them.
We didn't make it. So Uganda is into the finals.
The Under-17 World Cup qualification.
Oh, qualification.
This was a playoff.
Okay. They're now starting.
Yes. So
I see. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So was he able to jubilate?
Like he did.
How?
He did. He actually was dipping himself in water with.
So personal goals over national goals.
Oh, but now he's serving Uganda.
What's your problem? Let me say something. It's not like I wouldn't have jubilated either, but like when it's not you want to make it look like I'm happy for him anyway.
Yeah,
it's good for his CV.
Yeah, it is.
But it's bad for the nation.
True. True.
Mr. Mama, please call him to order.
We've not reached the Under-17 World Cup since 2017.
And Lai took it from us.
Yeah, Lai.
Okay, let's move on. Lai, we love you anyway. I'm actually one of his biggest fans. Let's move on. It's fine. Why are you looking at me like that? Let me ask the questions. Okay, let's talk about the English Premier League. Or actually, no, the Ghana Premier League.
Yes.
Kotoko lost, Hearts lost.
Hearts won.
Hearts won?
Yes.
I thought they lost.
No, they defeated Midiama.
Easy,
they defeated Midiama by 4.
Oh, rather, okay. No, but Kotoko lost.
Kotoko lost.
Let me reiterate that.
Yes.
Kotoko lost. They lost.
Yes, they did.
But Hearts won. Beautiful.
You're like 9 in this.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Chanoniwala. What's the Hearts song again? Let's sing it. Rose. Rose. Are you a Hearts fan?
I'm not.
So why are you singing
Sing it?
Are you a Kotoko fan?
No.
What are you?
I'm a Ashanti Gold fan.
Ashanti Gold. You can't sing some. Rose, Rose, Rose. Be quiet and don't be. Can we say that one on TV?
Say it.
We are the famous Hearts of Oak. We never say die.
Next season, will you win?
Oh, we will.
Oh, okay.
We'll win. We'll even play against Ghana's Sky and win. Let's talk.
Sir? It must be nice.
Don't try to meet us anywhere because we'll do you pass. You understand?
Cool.
We will be lifting the FA Cup.
Hey.
Anyway, let's go to the
so the results, Asante Kotoko lost 2-1 to Sweden All Blacks. Brekum Chelsea defeated Bechem United 3-2 a game. Samuel Atakumi of Goal Star scored 6 goals in the game. 6 in the game to win the Golden Boot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What does it come with?
Oh, I don't know what it comes with. Just that he wins the Golden Boot.
I see. So he got like the Golden Boots. Do they actually give the Golden Boots?
They give them something else, but not the
boots itself.
The boots itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? I hope it's not what you.
We'll see what they give them.
They should try and give them something good though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And unfortunately for Nations FC, even though they defeated Karela away from home, they've been relegated alongside Hohoe United and 11 wonders. So these 3 are out. Hull United withdrew earlier in the season, so automatically they're out. And Mediama, of course, finished as champions. Bibiani Gold Star second. Hearts of Folk, your club, third, and then Dreams FC finished fourth.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I mean, we've already talked about the Gunners. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add.
Oh, the only thing is we are winning the Champions League.
But we're waiting patiently.
Yes.
Because of you, I'll watch the game.
Oh, good. You should at 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, remind me. I'll watch it.
I will.
And I'll give you feedback.
Yes, after we won.
On changes that I think need to be made to the team.
No, after we won.
No, whichever way.
Okay.
I'll still give you feedback.
Okay, cool. I'll be there.
Okay, I didn't looking for a new coach. I'm available. Lai Ekinsintu is available. Thank you so much, Bill, for joining us for sports. And yes, we're looking forward to an extended version of the sports update from 10?
Yeah, from 10 to 11.
To 11. Yes. All right. We'll see you then. Thank you very much. We'll be back and we have a lot more to talk about. And also we'll be taking a look at the situation regarding Ghanaians who are stranded in South Africa. We're told that by Wednesday, about 300 of them will be evacuated back to Ghana. What exactly is the plan and the way forward? We'll talk about that shortly. We also have a special conversation coming up right after this. Keep watching. We'll be back. Because this is your favorite song. Hey, I see. Are you an Arsenal fan too? I'm just checking. No, okay. Because this morning I was dedicating it to them, so I thought maybe you are.
No,
also.
I'm not. An
What team do you belong?
Man U.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
We are always losing. Anyway. Back to the conversation.
Yes.
So you're a big fan of Black
Sherry.
So you're happy that he won a T7?
Yes, I am.
Did you send him a package to show him?
Well, I wish I had access to send him a package, and I would.
Okay, well, we're seeing it on TV now. So Black, look out for Bubbles Cuisine because they're coming to you.
Yes,
my producer says he will take the package and transport it free of charge.
No problem.
As to whether it will get to Black is another conversation. I will not be part of that conversation. But good to have you in the studios.
Thank you very much.
Director says she will chop the food. So
yes, please.
I leave that to you.
Yes.
So you're what? Abigail Ashwood Owusu.
Yes, ma'am.
So where from Bubbles?
Bubbles. Got the name Bubbles from a best friend. I mean, they always see me as a bubbly person, always laughing. And they're like, I think your name should be Bubbles, not Abigail.
Oh, I see. So
yes,
that's how
Bubbles.
And you decided to use that as the name of your business.
Exactly.
When
Bubbles
did Bubbles Cuisine start?
Bubbles Cuisine has started exactly 5 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, I'm growing up, I love to cook, and I decided to make it a passion. Went to a culinary school in Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay. You left Ghana to go to Lagos, Nigeria?
Yes.
Why?
So as at that time, I wanted a change of environment. So visited a few friends in Lagos, Nigeria, and I was like, okay, made inquiries in culinary schools in Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
And then took it up from there. Went to one of the best culinary schools in Lagos, Nigeria. Graduated as a chef.
Oh, nice.
Did my internship at Radisson Blu for a year. And decided to come back to my country.
You didn't have a choice. Why are you going to stay in Nigeria? Like, we'll come and drag you back.
At a point, I wanted to stay, but I felt like, no, Ghana is home. So came back, and then Bubbles Cuisine has just been...
So what's been the experience so far since you moved
It's
back?
been a lot of learning, unlearning, also rewarding as well. I mean, being an entrepreneur, there are lots of ups and downs, but we keep pushing.
Yeah, I see that, and you seem to be doing well. So that's you on there?
Yes, events, catering.
So usually I'd ask that, what's your most favorite meal? What's the meal that you've cooked for people that people have said, this one, their Bubbles. If I ever think of this meal, I'm coming to you.
So far, it's jollof rice.
Okay.
And then our burgers. We have most of our clients also love our lamb ribs.
I see.
With creamy mashed potatoes.
Hey.
We have some T-bones.
I see.
I mean, almost all our meals, we get good comments and feedback from our clients.
But for you personally, what's your vision for the brand so that it aligns with people's expectations?
Yeah, my vision for the brand is to be one of the best catering event service in Ghana. We also have an online restaurant, and also to grow that online where people can order food at their convenience any time of the day also. And also being in the food industry and being good at what I do and delivering good food, that's basically.
And you get a lot of clients coming to you and saying you're very good, they love your food?
I get a lot of that. And sometimes when I get those reviews, I'm like, wait, what did I do? I mean, it's just cooking, but it shows me it's a gift from God, because you could just give me ingredients and I could just whip up something in few minutes and...
Oh, just like that?
Just like that.
I didn't get the memo. I would have brought you some coconte and coconut and see how you can mix the two and create
I'll whip it up for you, don't worry.
And coconut, you can do something.
I'll do something for you, cry.
Coco Conte. I don't even know what to call it, but I mean, for you, moving forward, what's the plan? How do you want this brand to grow? And how should people also reach out to you if they need you?
Thank you very much. So I would want the brand to grow in the area of corporate lunches. We have packages for corporate.
Okay.
As low as 50 Ghana cedis, you get a good pack of meal, very affordable, good food, not because of the money, good food as well. And also, I want the corporate sector to reach out to us. We have an kitchen, open space kitchen. You can order bulk packed, delivered to their offices. We also have our events catering where we do weddings, parties. I actually wanted to cater for your wedding, but I didn't have access.
No worry, we can do a second one.
Oh, please, I am. Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, I want us to also have the event catering space.
Okay.
To be known. People can reach out to us on our socials, Bubbles Cuisine, on TikTok, Bubbles Cuisine _Cuisine, and then on Instagram also Bubbles _Cuisine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bubbles _Cuisine.
Yes.
On TikTok and Instagram.
Yes, please.
And then on Snapchat.
On Snapchat is Bubbles Cuisine Official.
Okay. All right. So go. That's why you get us excited with all the food postings and stuff.
Please. Yes, please.
I see. We will go and check it and we'll order some food as well.
Yes,
for our next event. My producer is about to get married, Shadrach. So
nice.
We'll be ordering food from you. Please cater for the event.
Yes,
yes,
please.
As to who he's marrying, we don't know yet, but we know it's happening soon. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Sure.
But thank you so much.
Thank you too.
And I'm told you brought me a very special. You see, my producer says I'm in the spirit, so he knows.
Yes.
He hasn't proposed yet. He's waiting for me to give him some tips on how to propose. Shadrach, we'll make it happen. I'll escort you.
Definitely.
But thank you for the package as well. Very kind of you.
Thank you too.
And for all of you who are watching, if you have any corporate event coming up and you're looking for the best person to make you some your cater for your food, well, Bubbles Cuisine is here. Again, your number is
05924599690.
05924599690.
Yes, please.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for joining us on the show. And yes, on that note, we're going to take a look at a conversation that was had with some of the Ghanaians who are stranded in South Africa, looking to come home, of course, on the ticket of government. And so they've been speaking on the matter, expressing their concerns about being left behind at the moment, even though we've been assured that by Wednesday we'll have about 3 of them being evacuated from South Africa back into Ghana. So let's listen to what they had to say. We'll speak to a few of them as well, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. Me person me free chrome ha because situation led me buy Kaneshie, and I wanted to go back. I need to go back home.
We don't want to stay here. I'm sick and tired of this country. I should have been fed. Look at how I am. I have been working as a teacher in this country. Not that Ghanaians are illegal, but the Home Affairs forced most of them to be illegal because some of them have permanent status, which has been revoked. I have them here. Some have business permit. They came with business permit. They renewed here 3 times. At the end, the other renewals, they said fraudulent. There are some Ghanaians. There was a Ghanaian lady that was knocked down by a car. I took it upon myself to claim that we have something rough, road accident fund. I pushed it to the end. I took a lawyer by myself. At the end of the payment, they said they have declined it.
Some of us outside Pretoria can't even travel by bus or their taxis, even for them to come and register their names because they are scared. Because the moment they started Kware style, then they have to divert the taxi somewhere. So how about them? What are the safety measures towards them, if necessary?
Sese binom ye won krata wo krom ha. Ye pese ko Ghana no so bi ye san wo adwuma kase wo krom ha. Ye pese ko Ghana because intimidation no edoso. Police ni kura timi ba wo adwuma mo nim so obi bia ye, but obefa kwan bia so agiska through ho anasa obe intimidate ma that the whole day no ude ni nyina ye basa. SSS na eba. Inti yesre papa say ono de owano okasa yetie se pa no mpese ya won krata no kra yenko yekrumu a omo kan kire ye ntokwa bia nim ye ba yamfa hwama ye betumi asen akoye chiboko se be ye na ye no omunya anototu bia eye me denra me hu akola no a ukofa no free airport no me hu ye ne me kan ya ne say no akola no agu ani mas because what the misinformation le ko airport ho omo afili form no wo me group no nyina omo frame am se mo ntwen Papa no say time so a obek mamu time na munyina maba airport. Inti obi an kan kire na wa di mirika na ko airport. But anopa be say hu say wa ko fa no a wodo no kasa no me kan ya ne say hallelujah. Papa na ye friend ngwase ni nam. Inti me srew aduma papa na wo ye ne obetio ne wontio ye de mpaibo etai wachi. Ye ne sa amaye na you say you get to Kenya.
So what we are seeing or witnessing is not something that is going to end today. Most of them have put these guys who are doing these demonstrations on a payroll, a strong one. So it's not something that's going to end today. I'm looking at a worst scenario as a business owner is in discussing with the South African counterparts if they can actually have a takeover plan of Ghanaian businesses, because at the DTI they've got a takeover regulatory panel where they will be able to give us offers so that they can take over those businesses to their local South Africans so that we can live peacefully. Because at times it's also so difficult having stayed for years running businesses and you just have to leave. And many of our staff are also leaving, and at the end of the day, how are we going to pay the rent?
I personally, I'm even ready to go back to Ghana, but because of certain situation, because my children are here, there's no way I can also leave them behind.
Refugee, force at the end of the day would be to charge.
And those are some Ghanaians in South Africa who are expressing concern about their safety and looking forward to being evacuated out of the country and back home to Ghana. They were addressing some officials, including, of course, the Ghana High Commissioner to South Africa, His Excellency Ben Kwashi. Now, His Excellency has also been speaking on this, and in fact, he gives an update indicating that about 826 Ghanaians have registered to leave South Africa. This was an update 2 days ago. We've seen a video being posted this morning from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Sam Okudzeto-Ablakwa, also indicating that over 800 Ghanaians have registered to leave South Africa. And so they're relying on government's benevolence to get them out of the country. Very concerning, I must say. Now, on the 21st of May is when we expected the first flight to leave South Africa for Ghana. Unfortunately, that was halted. And per what the minister said, evacuation of Ghanaians from South Africa was deferred by a few days due to logistical and legal requirements. We're hearing that even though a lot of them had registered to leave, unfortunately, when it got to the day for them to leave, we did not necessarily get as many of them. And that's also news coming from other quarters as well. But the minister indicates that it's also because there were some logistical and legal requirements that were needed. Now, the ministry, ahead of evacuating these Ghanaian citizens from South Africa, also put together a list of interventions for these Ghanaians when they get into the country. And it included a welcome home financial package, which we're told is a direct financial aid upon arrival in Ghana, transport assistance. So they were arranging ground transport to help returnees travel from the airport to their various destinations across the country, reintegration allowance, which is additional stipends to help affected persons resettle after fleeing emergency conditions, psychosocial support as well. So they're going to provide some free mental and counseling services to assist returnees in processing the trauma of the attacks. And they were also going to provide returnees with some economic support. So they're going to be logged into a special database designed to connect them with job opportunities and startup programs as well. And of course, there are diplomatic interventions that we're seeing at this point. So let's go on Zoom. We're lucky to have been joined by a Ghanaian living in South Africa who's also looking to make it home safely, and he's joined us via Zoom. We also have a lecturer on Zoom as well. And so we have this Ghanaian based at the High Commission at the moment, just waiting patiently to get back home. So let's speak to him now. Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very much well.
All right.
Thanks for asking.
So quickly, just to get your name as well, and how long you've been living in South Africa for?
My name is Stephen Kuledu, CEO of Gasa Multimedia. I've been in South Africa for about 16 years and still counting.
16 years. So what?
Conclusion, let me put it at the greener pastures.
Okay. Greener pastures, and that's 16 years ago. How has it been since then?
It's been okay. We have life challenges everywhere. Unlike Ghana, we're here in South Africa. To me, I can say life is okay here.
Life is okay. But you seem to be at the embassy at the moment. That means that you're ready to come home?
No, I'm here reporting. I'm a media person and I'm not here to come home. I'm here.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so tell me at the moment, how many Ghanaians do we have? Do you see any of them at the base right now? And what are they saying generally?
So I've been here since yesterday when the screening exercise started. Over 300 and more Ghanaians have been screened by the South African people, the authorities, the Home Affairs officials. They were here yesterday to assist all 300 Ghanaians who are ready to be repatriated home. The exercise is still ongoing. If I can turn my cameras, sorry, you can see. Officials are here. This is the Ghana High Commission. A lot of Ghanaians who came from afar slept. The mission got them a place to sleep.
Okay.
And then your bags are in here. I can take the cameras there for you to see. So the exercise is still ongoing, like I did mention, and it's going on smoothly. 300 people, latest by Wednesday, will be in Ghana.
When you say the exercise is ongoing, what exercise exactly? What's going on?
So people need to be screened by the authorities from Home Affairs. Some people have expired visas, expired passport, and also we heard others came into the country from other sources, not through the OR Tambo International Airport. So all these people will have to be screened so that they will not be arrested at the airport. The mission has done so well to make sure that each and every Ghanaian who is ready to be repatriated wouldn't be facing any law when they get to the airport. So that's the screening that is ongoing at the moment.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what's causing them to want to leave the country. I mean, we all saw those videos of verbal attacks, if you could say, physical attacks in some cases, preventing some of the children from going to school, etc. Detail some of the experiences that some of these Ghanaians have encountered in South Africa, making them want to leave the country at this point.
After speaking to a few Ghanaians, what most of them are saying is that they are tired of staying in South Africa. Things are not working as planned, so they just want to leave. Others too said they are being attacked in their neighborhood, their workplaces, shops are being closed and all that. So it varies. Not everybody wants to leave because of the xenophobic attacks.
Okay.
Others are like, yeah, compare back home. They think it's better off home than being here. So not necessarily because of the current ongoing xenophobic attacks, but rather things are really not going on as planned. That's why they want to go back home.
Have there been some who have been physically attacked?
Few people have been attacked, yes.
How bad was it?
I have a lady here. I don't know if she'll... Hello, my sister. Would you like to speak to me? Please come. Yes, I have a Ghanaian here who has been physically attacked. Please come next to me here. And then we live on TV3.
Okay.
Okay, so this of mine has been physically attacked, and I think she'd like to share her story.
Yes, please go ahead. Sweetheart, what's your name, first of all?
Please, my name is Diana.
Diana, how long have you been in South Africa for?
4 years now.
4 years. What took you there?
I'm staying Eastern Cape.
Okay. Why did you go to South Africa? What was the reason why you traveled there? Was it for work or school? What exactly?
Because of the work. That's why I came here.
What work exactly do you do?
Hairdresser.
You're a hairdresser?
Yes,
now,
please.
Now I'm told that you were physically attacked. What exactly happened to you?
That case is last week Sunday.
What happened?
I was the work. So the time I closed the work, and that guys started to attack the people, chasing the people out at the shops. So I ran away and they chased me. Mommy, so bad they beat me a lot. They hate me. They beat me a lot.
They beat you?
Yeah. They hit me. My hair. If you see my face, they are stitched now.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many men roughly? Or was it, did you even have time to look?
Half past 6.
How many people attacked you?
More than 6.
More than 6 men? And they were hitting you. What was their reason for attacking you?
They said they must leave that town.
Is this the first time you faced something like this, or has it happened before?
Yes, mommy. It's the first time.
Wow. But prior to being attacked, had they been coming to the shop to threaten you? Were there threats?
Yeah, it's threat, and they say they must leave this country. They don't want to see us here. All of not only me, the Ghanaians.
So you're ready to come back home now?
No, I won't come back again.
Are you ready to go to Ghana?
Are you ready to go to Ghana? Okay,
Yes,
you want
please.
to come to Ghana?
Yes, please.
Okay. And so you're one of the people who's registering, hoping that by Wednesday or whichever time they can bring you, you'll get on that flight and come to Ghana.
Yes, please.
When you come, are you concerned about what work you will end up doing here?
Yeah, because I don't have anything. In case if I'm coming home, I don't have anything to do it. But if I get something, I'll start my business.
But what's the High Commissioner and what are the authorities also telling you?
They are not saying anything yet.
They haven't made any promises yet?
Yes, please.
Have you asked them?
No.
No? Okay. So what are you doing there today?
I have a lot of...
Okay, so she's asking, what are you doing here today?
Today, I came here to write in my name, my everything here. That's why I came here.
Okay. So that means that you'll stay there till Wednesday, or will you go back home?
We stay here Wednesday to go home.
Okay. All right. I'm so sorry that you got attacked. That's really sad. And I do hope that you get back home safely and things work out for you.
Okay.
All
so
right.
she said she has pictures that she can share. I think maybe in due time I'll send to your producers, then they can. So you did ask her if she has any promise from the mission. Yes. When His Excellency, the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto, visited on Friday, he met the Ghanaian community and we were here to ask questions. So he did promise that the government of Ghana has packages for the people who have been repatriated back home. So when they get home, they'll not be idle, they'll not be stranded, but there are packages for them right from the airport.
Okay.
NIA will be there to register them with their Ghana cards and the rest will follow.
I see.
At the back, at the back of the mission, there are people there having the exercises. And also, on a very normal day, let me do this. When you come to the site, this is where you have your travel certificates. People come here for visas and all documentation at the Ghana High Commission. But today, this is the situation as we speak. All these bags have invaded the place, getting ready to leave home on the 27th, on Wednesday. So you can see it's fully packed. This is the main reception for everybody that need documentation to Ghana. But today, as you can see, it's fully packed with bags and baggages. People are just getting ready to go home. So this is it.
So roughly how many people do you see around?
There are a lot of people here. If I should go to the back where the registration is going on, there are people that yesterday they flooded the place and today the exercise is still ongoing.
I would want you to go there. I would want to see the people and hopefully if we can even speak to one more person, that would be fantastic. I'm very grateful to you for the work you're doing. Of course, giving us some insight into exactly what's happening. We really appreciate it.
So I am going to the back.
Okay.
And then all these people here are Ghanaians, are brothers and sisters who have been in South Africa ready to go home.
Okay.
We are here at the Ghana High Commission. This is where His Excellency Benjamin Kwasi, the Ghana High Commission is. So as you can see, this is where the exercise is going. You can see yesterday, they came here in their numbers. All these people are here.
Wow.
And mostly these Home Affairs officials don't want to be on camera. I don't know why.
Yes. Understandably so. Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay.
So
and I see that there are children there, so they're there with their families as well.
Yes. Parents are living with their kids.
Okay.
As you can see.
Okay.
All these people are Ghanaians. Hello. All these people are Ghanaians. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone on there who would like to speak to us as well?
I'll quickly confirm that if anybody
would
love to speak.
I'll give you the chance to do that while I just speak to a professor online as well, so that you can...
Okay.
Yes. We'll come back to you shortly, Stephen, but please don't go, stay on the line. But also joining us, we have Professor Daniel Dramani Kipo. He's an associate professor, LECIAD, University of Ghana. Thank you, Prof, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm sure you've been online listening to the woman who indicated that she was actually physically assaulted. She showed us bruises on her face. This is how far the situation has gone. But at least there's some window of opportunity for these Ghanaians to come back home. And the minister is promising that by Wednesday, we'll have about 3 of them evacuated back into Ghana. I mean, how does this affect the Ghana-South Africa relations that we seem to enjoy so far?
This particular issue has been a very unfortunate one, and I would say that a sad one. Looking at the kind of diplomatic relation that exists between Ghana and South Africa, Ghana has been a key player for many 2-3 decades ago, supporting South Africa to get liberated. Since independence in 1994, Ghana has maintained a very cordial, friendly diplomatic relation with South Africa, with our High Commission in Pretoria and a number of consulate operating. So the relation between Ghana and South Africa has been a very cordial and a very friendly one. And South Africa is a pillar, the only founding member in BRICS, serving the interests of Africa. So that is a very powerful country. Just sadly, whatever has happened since 21, a whole lot of unfortunate things are happening here and there. And South Africans sadly have soon forgotten of how African states fought for their liberation, teamed up, used economic, political, the UN, all the structures, pressure here and there for them to get liberated. And whatever has come out of them, they have turned their back against subs, whether they belong to the Southern African states, Zimbabwe, Malawi, all of them are target. And the West group are those from West Africa, Ghana and Nigeria as prominent people. What exactly has West African citizens committed? They haven't committed a crime. It is just a civil group, the Dudula group, who have just formed as a civil pressure group and very illegal group of people who have put themselves as law enforcement agents and just torturing and maltreating a lot of African citizens. Unfortunately, I said they are not targeting the very regime that tortured them. The minority, the whites are protected. They are not targeting the Indians and the Asians. They are targeting sub-Saharan, those who are black people like them. That is their target.
Prof, I'll let you hold on. Prof, hold on briefly for me, sorry. But let me cross over to South Africa quickly. We have a few people who also want to share their story. So let me go back to Stephen. Stephen.
Yes, my dear.
All right. Thank you again for the good work that you're doing for us. So you have a few people who want to speak?
Yes. So I have 3 people who want to speak to you in camera. If it's okay, one of them would like to speak in the local dialect.
That's absolutely fine. Yes. Hello.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sister. Good morning.
Good morning. Pacho Obakachi Obayaga. What's it? Obakachi. Me Pacho your friend saying.
What's your friend of Aki?
Wafake na then they will call South Africa.
Call South Africa. Say ke kopɛ dwuma yɛ.
Nti now in fierce saying
3 years, minya 3 years. In this month, minya 3 years. Na 3 years, minya ya na mesa abefie.
Na then Emma wa befie. Catch ye.
Na mesa mi befie ni say South Africa Ethiopia sister. Pancha, we risk your life. Nipa ne wo kunu, omo ndwi nipa na ahoho ho. Omu se okasa ye different na omu ye mienu nsa mo katwi kura de a wo ho ye omotan.
Ade.
Ho kura ye omotan. Omu se kasa kura nye de kaya de ye kasa gbagbara ye kasa gbagbara. Because so on tie kasa na sininti. Omu se kasa kura nye.
Oh.
Ne dia ebi ye good. Ni baby na me won de nipa me no omu e san de omu ye good.
Efa na na wo wote. Efa na wote.
Me na me wo Eastern Cape. The so baby nnobo.
Na hono na ejuma ben na wo ye.
Na me de me China ni bi na ye ejuma.
Ejuma ben.
China shop.
Okay.
Tadie ni aboa ni normal.
Na se wo se baby a wo wo no na ho nkrofo na ye good a. E dey nti na ma wo pese wo be fie.
Nka se omu yi na ye good o. Yen so mo yen si ade no mo yen region by region. And I say so you know uni krata so ho. So no, me ni krata. Omo so mo man krata so. Nti wuti ho na mo be bo sense na wan yan krata na mo no mu edu dem a. Is en twasu. Na se kwanya no so abeda be tudu akokrum de se se oba okrum. Okrum nya kra ye okrum. So that's it.
Matthias, now what's the one? Mitio, what's the one in Krata? O de visa bene koye. O call through airport na.
No.
We are then now do South. Pacho ye then now do South Africa. Quite ben so now fa di drew.
No credit okay ye me fa zim.
O fa hifa. Zimbabwe now fa enti o free Ghana efa plane call Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And na fiti hawk on over a car na se den.
The far bus until you do board down from the rare bush.
Ura bush now the remu.
Rare bush, you could two soldiers, sister. Nipa 5 and I'm ready for Ghana 4-3. Anna yeah, for say prepare money Ghana football ball and Mozambique, no.
Okay. O de nti o hia nkofo na o fa bush dira South Africa. Nti wow document nya eyi dada we hu.
Your Ghana agent omo link South Africa. Ghana agent no ku besi Zimwa. Na oni Zim immigration no e contact. Zim immigration ni e ba o ba no Zim immigration eni mo e wo picture obi bia dada. Na South Africa agent no so also one agent a ono so wo Zim ho no so be you free airport wo do akofo taxi no akofo do akofo bus
and then enye juma kitwa okay mate
you see you bush ona na me di ye ho afofi
sa asem wi wo ba Ghana me pese wo be ba studio na ya ka ho asem nti wo de me nka ne nyina ansa ma me mfa onua ba ko ne nkasa na mentie ono so nenu munsem why ba wo ba Ghana yebe share the tree is tree. Hello, hi. So what's your name, sir?
Niama.
Niama.
Speak English or yes.
Whichever language you want. English what? Oh, we bluff when okay.
Okay.
Yes, English. So what took you to South Africa as well?
Teaching.
Okay.
Education.
How long have you been there for?
30th May will be exactly 3 years.
Okay. Did you also go? Did you go legally or did you go through another country or another means?
I came here legally. I acquired all the necessary documents, including certified South African Council of Educators. We call it SAS.
Okay. Okay.
Also, and I'm also of South Africa Teachers Council. But for some time, they are refusing to renew foreign teachers' license.
Why?
I don't know, honestly speaking. And I'm a victim. I was arrested 21st January because most of us were foreigners.
You were arrested by who?
By the police officers, which I have a video as an evidence. Yes, so I took video of it, and I'm waiting at the right time. I'll bring it up. I just wanted to be underground. So when this opportunity came, I took advantage because I believe that why don't I bring my expertise back to Ghana? I'm a self-certified teacher also. Just that back at home, we struggle to get jobs. It's who knows you. That's what forced us to come to South Africa. But if I'll be able to acquire all the international certificates as an educator with 22 years teaching experience, it's better I come home. I can't suffer in somebody's land.
All right.
Already they refuse to renew my license for me, so why don't I come home?
Exactly.
If the government of Ghana is willing to reinstall us, at least for some of us who are teachers, if the government relocate us to Tamale, we really appreciate to help people in Tamale, Upper West. Home is home.
All right.
It's not broken.
Well, I'll let you hold on. And I hope that we can get you also in the studios when you come to Ghana, hopefully after Wednesday, so we can have a longer conversation on this.
I love to.
So we'll definitely stay in touch. Definitely.
All right.
Yes, we'll stay in touch. And then also we have another brother. Unfortunately, we cannot. Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm told my time is up. But Stephen Kunedu, thank you so much for the hard work. We're going to cross over to you again subsequently. We'll let you know ahead of time so we can continue this conversation. But that's Stephen Kunedu. He's a journalist in South Africa, and he gave us some exclusives with regards to what's happening. And of course, we've had Professor Kipo on the line as well. I promised I was going to go back to him. But Prof, unfortunately, I'm told that I have to wrap up immediately. But we'll schedule another time to have a longer conversation on this so you can express your opinion on it properly. And so thank you again for your time. And that's all time we'll allow on the show today. To all of you who are tuned in, I know this was a conversation that you were looking forward to enjoying, but we have to wrap up. We'll do it again, and we'll let you in on exactly what to expect with regards to the 300 who will be brought in, hopefully, Wednesday. We're told the flights will leave at 6 a.m. South African time on Wednesday. And so hopefully by afternoon or evening, we should expect them to arrive here in Ghana. And we're told there'll be subsequent flights from South Africa into Ghana. So if you have family there, get in touch with them. Let them head to the embassy now so they can also go through the screening process and be part of the people who will be evacuated. A happy birthday to all of you. If it's your birthday today, God bless you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow for TV3 Newday. Sports takes over now for the next hour. We also have midday news, and we have more coming your way here on TV3. My name is Bella Mundi. I've been doing this with Roland Walker. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good week, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning.